Welcome to Session 5 of our Sea Dogs GURPS campaign. I am Gigermann, today's GM. Do we have any business to take care of?
I do not,
Not for me.
apart from something. I'm sure I can think of something.
I think I was going to spend a point in ship bond. Vehicle bond.
Vehicle bond.
I'm not sure if I've done that already.
Well, it probably won't come up this session, so you got a bit.
I would like to spend 1 point to increase my weather sense.
Right. Which is an odd skill.
It is an odd skill, and it's one that I picked up at the last minute during the grace period, but it's only at a 12, and Rogers should be much better at judging the weather.
I just keep wondering, what exactly kind of information are you supposed to get from that?
It's gonna rain.
Because
Meteorology would be
really
much more accurate. Because you can make an educated guess, but you can't actually predict the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you'd be able to judge why the weather's well, not even that in this case, because you don't have
just
any
the shape of the
instrumentation.
clouds and
Yeah,
the
maybe.
wind and the smell. I mean, there should be clues, but
I guess I need better examples of that at some point.
yeah,
No,
it is a weird skill.
The funny thing about GURPS, mechanically, when it comes to weather sense, is that at TL5, instrumentation becomes available. That's considered basic equipment. But it
So you get a bonus.
functionally, no, you don't get a bonus, and that's the weird part. So it doesn't tell you that you get any different information from one to the other. It's just at TL5, you're expected to use instrumentation.
I would
I would like to
say
drop a point into cooking, please.
that the amount of
please do.
information that you can get at TL5 is more. So that's why you have the instrumentation. So yeah.
One might presume that, but it is not specified.
Yeah, and also, just experientially speaking, people with a lot of training and instruments don't really do much better than someone who's been at sea for years
Well, that's probably also true.
and has a sense for it.
For those that are watching, we were gonna be short 2 players today, so we were decided instead of skipping, we would do a little side mission. And then one of the players showed up.
The
Now
nerve.
we're down 1.
We're only short the one who we actually don't need.
You should feel complimented then, Daniel.
I do. I just
He
wish I was.
blew off his,
I just wish
his
I knew it was coming ahead of
anniversary
time.
to show up for your game.
Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but all right.
Just a little bit.
All right. Let me
Like I
think
said, we're
here.
celebrating by not doing anything.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, our Friday game is going to be on Valentine's Day next week, and apparently nobody's doing anything. So,
There is a chance of one person being out, but he was like, just presume I'm out or plan for me being out, and if I show up instead, then great. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. His character's kind of jacked up anyway, so.
true.
I'm working from 800 to 2000 that day, so don't look for me.
Oof.
Alrighty then. Harbor Log, Wednesday, January 10th, 1725, Santo Domingo. It's clear and warm with a light breeze. Having just arrived at the harbor,
We arrived
just
at
after
midnight,
midnight.
according to, yeah. Okay.
The expedition is getting ready in the morning to go ashore and do their business.
Find adventure.
perhaps find some adventure.
Is this trouble? We were looking for that.
So, the town of Santo Domingo is population about half of Kingston, so about 2,500. Although it used to be more than that. This is the oldest European colony in the Americas. It was actually governed by Christopher Columbus when it was originally built.
I have just finally discovered that, or realized that the entire purpose of this game is you actually want to be a teacher, don't you?
No.
Admit
Santo
it.
Domingo. German for a whale's vagina.
In your blog, you mentioned that this is a game that's been like 20 years coming.
That's true.
Ha! I wasn't the only one that bothers looking at that garbage.
I wondered if any of you read that.
What's the story behind that? That's a long time to hang out for a game.
Well, technically, not to get... Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was going to say this could end
He
up being
asked
a
the
short
question.
session, but if we ask questions like that, it
We
could
got
go
a
longer.
question.
I don't mind. There you go. No, it was I ran the Fortune Hunters Inc. campaign back about 20 years ago. Yeah, Phil, it was about 20 years ago.
Is it only 20?
And that
Surely
one,
it's more than that. It was closer to 30, wasn't it?
that one featured a bit of pirate stuff going on there. So it was a typical 30s pulp thing, but it had like a pirate flashback deal. And after that campaign ended, never mind how it ended, I had actually started working on a new specifically pirate campaign called Sea Dogs.
Huh.
And so bits and pieces of that are still there, although the current version of it doesn't resemble that one all that much. It was actually supposed to take place in like the 1660s or so, and in the heyday of pirate activity.
So what you're saying is we need to hit a magical wormhole and get thrust back into the 1660s. So
That would
we're
be
right
weird.
around on the age of piracy.
Stop. No, stop. No.
What? I'm just trying to help.
Stop helping.
I don't think we want to get that wibbly wobbly with it.
Let's not. This is great like it is. Don't ruin it.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm still kind of getting situated.
Curiosity satisfied.
So a couple of days prior to this, we actually hit the 1 week mark. And that means we needed to roll for ship malfunctions.
Is that a health roll?
It's health -3.
Is there any bonus for careful maintenance?
And I realized that you can't roll from the vehicle sheet, which is too bad.
Oh.
Really?
Really? That doesn't seem right.
It's not active, it's just a
Ah.
bunch of fields.
Yeah.
Well, I'll roll 3d6 randomly.
Yeah, whoever wants to. All right.
Decent.
That is a fail
what our
by
health
1.
is. Okay,
Which
health
brings me back to my
is-
question about careful maintenance.
No, the careful maintenance is gonna. Actually, I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Or is that
I'll answer
to
that.
correct
I'll answer that
such a problem?
question later.
Roger.
But yeah, the way this works is if you roll a malfunction, which we have, then the engineer whoever that is, will get the opportunity to fix that. And if it's
we
fixed,
don't
it's
have
fixed
an
and nothing else
engineer.
happens. There is that.
What is the significance of the C in the health of the ship? 12C.
I believe that
Combustible.
means combustible.
Which makes sense. It can catch on fire.
I think seamanship is the act of taking care of the ship, in part.
I would have to check, actually. I know the
Ethan, you should roll on this.
The profession is the ship's carpenter, but the ship's carpenter is actually a shipbuilder.
Oh, carpentry.
Rigging problems. So let's see. It's not necessarily going to be a bad one.
So we've got some rot in the ropes.
And I
I
did
think
specifically say we were laying in extra hemp.
I think it's Red's fault.
And we haven't done any actual expenditures on the spare parts, but I'm assuming some of that's been done already. And we could spend the planning points on that as well. But right now, we'll just say that it's actually fairly common for one of the sails to get ripped. So you guys had to shift a spare up on the T'Gallant, and somebody is going to have to repair that.
So we strap on some new canvas.
Yeah.
And the old canvas goes over the side. Or gets cut up and made into pants or whatever.
Or something else useful.
Yeah, I don't think we'd toss it. I think wouldn't it make more sense for us to actually use everything on the boat?
As big as those damn
anything
things
that
are, you could
can
probably
be
build
used,
a
yeah.
house out of it.
I'm sure you could
Hammocks.
repair it.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Is this is torn. You tear it down, or you pull it down. You put the new one up, and then we have the other one to repair.
You stitch up the old one and itch it back up.
Yep.
That does make sense.
I'm just guessing. I don't know how they did this stuff back then.
All right. Well, you guys had planned to get up in the morning and go ashore and start doing whatever. Your purpose for being in Santo Domingo was specifically for victualling and watering, but you guys could also do other things while you're here.
Wondering what would I want to do here?
Well, Spencer has been the one to do the checking for freight and passengers, which I assume he's going to handle that.
But we're not supposed to be able to do that here.
No, okay, so about that.
I thought.
The Spanish don't do trade with foreign merchants, which is actually common. I don't think any of the nationalities do. But I'm assuming at this point, and I can't find any evidence one way or the other, that just getting provisions doesn't really count. I'm thinking that applies to imports and exports and not just Chandler stuff.
And Hayden was doing his girl in every port thing. Is that correct?
No,
Phil mentioned that.
Hayden.
Oh, Randall. I see.
Mark didn't respond to that, and I meant to bug him last night. I forgot.
So
no, he did mention having one in every port.
Did he?
Yeah, he mentioned that would probably
be
his activity.
Quirks.
Yeah, I know that's one of his quirks.
Yeah, he did reply. He said that would be one of his activities, or that would be his activity.
No, he didn't. He didn't respond to that. Phil responded to that.
Oh, I see. God, Phil.
I know. I was just throwing an idea out there, and I was expecting Mark to get on there and respond.
Of course, Carrie didn't respond to that either.
Well,
yeah, but Carrie's here.
It wasn't really a question. It was just a suggestion that we be thinking about it. And I did.
That's true. I did word. If I wanted an answer, if I definitely wanted an answer, I didn't word that correctly then.
And if you did want an answer, here is what I thought about at your suggestion that I think about it. I thought that Rogers would probably just kind of supervise and watch the crew and make sure that nobody's slipped off into Santo Domingo, never to be seen again.
Shepherding.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to briefly take over Mark's character. He announces he can't wait to get ashore because there's this lovely Spanish girl named Maria that he knows here that's here.
He's never been here, actually.
Yeah, but he knows she came here.
That's kind of the problem with his girl in every port was he's not actually been to every port.
Well,
in
that
fact,
just
he
means
hasn't been to many
met some
ports
of
at
them
all.
yet.
Now, it could be that he's going to get a girl in every
Yes.
port, but he has to.
I think
he has
that's
to
the
start
intent.
Okay, so he's going to go ashore and meet a lovely Spanish girl named Maria.
And now I realize as I'm posting that image that I'm actually missing a person because somebody showed up.
Sorry.
But that's okay. We can deal with it. There you go.
Doing great.
Thought he was
All right,
like
so-
a former spy.
That's none of your business.
No, I was just thinking maybe like he does spy things.
Well,
You don't know.
He's
sneak,
not.
sneak, sneak.
He's not an agent of any nation that you're aware of. Bear in mind when you're looking at this that obviously not all of these will be available in every town, specifically in this one. But that ought to give you an idea. Plus, we can sort of track who's going where. And yeah, the town itself is decent, decently built, very Spanish looking. Big forts, wall around the town. Friggin' governor's palace thing going on there, and yeah, it's reasonably impressive for its size. Now,
Rogers will remain around the docks.
I'm presuming that that Spencer is going to go to the merchants.
Yep.
Now, as you guys are getting ready to leave, and figuring out who's going ashore and who's not, Furlong will pop in, and he's apparently been very excited ever since you guys announced that you're going to Santo Domingo, because he's eager to spend some money on his favorite girl in the entire Hispaniola.
And I'm waiting for his punchline.
Why does there have to be a punchline?
I just thought there was a punchline.
Furlong, with me. We're going ashore.
And also, Dora will approach Spencer and kind of indicate she wants to go ashore.
Sure. She won't get me into trouble.
She
boy.
grabs a fold of her skirt there and sort of scrubs at it, and then a bit of her hair and scrubs at that too.
Right.
Hayden doesn't know whether this place has a reputation for being safe or dangerous, so he's going to err on the side of caution and suggest that everyone that is going ashore does so at least in pairs.
Aye, sir.
Dora also turns out her pockets and gives that sad look.
Yeah, I need to get some money too. If I'm going to be doing merchanty stuff.
But as she does that, Furlong sees that and says, "Oh, you need a bit of a wash, love. Why don't you come with me?" The girls at the Mermaid Tail will take care of you.
Is that the bathhouse?
Don't know what that is.
Inn, tavern, pub, brothel.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually have an actual bathhouse here or not. Maybe. There are plenty of places you could get that. All right, so looks like Davino's hanging around the docks.
Yep, gonna try
And
to find work.
oh, you're actually going to go try to make some money. That's interesting. What about Hayden?
Well, Hayden will join either Spencer or Rogers. Depends on where people are going.
I would suggest Spencer because I'm going to hang around the docks, keep an eye on the boat, and see who's coming and going. Mainly at an observational type post.
Artegal, would you mind if I join you on this adventure?
I suppose so. That's fine.
So Hayden will join Artegal.
So you guys get in the boat and row on over to the docks. As you guys are getting situated there, you see that there's a reasonable military presence, apparently, which isn't necessarily a surprise. And Furlong grabs Dora, and they go off that way. And he yells back to you guys, "Whenever you guys get done with your business, you come find me at the Mermaid's Tail. Get Mamacita to hook you up." I'll buy you a drink.
Wonder if it's a real mermaid's tail. I could stand to see that.
There's only one way to find out.
Is there?
How cross-border are the languages? So here, would it only be Spanish that's spoken?
Given that this is an active port town, I would be surprised if some people here wouldn't speak English a little. But I would say mostly Spanish. I don't think it's probably not as common for that to be. I don't know. That may not be true necessarily.
I think you're correct that Spanish ports and towns are primarily Spanish speaking.
I mean, obviously it's going to be primarily Spanish speaking, but how much is primarily? Is it 51% or is it 90%?
I would say 90% with like 30% being bilingual in either English or Spanish. I mean, English or French.
Yeah, I think French would probably be more likely than English, since they
Agreed.
do more. They're closer to each other geographically.
Yes, and politically at this point.
Yeah, maybe a little. Although the last war, it was all against Spain.
But I imagine Merchant would have would be English speakers or French, or at least have translators.
Yeah, I would say the merchants are more likely to speak something else. All right. Well, let's. So one of the first things is when you guys get out there to the docks and start, Davino and Rogers start looking around. Boom goes running off and starts playing with a gaggle of kids, and he's all chasing them around and stealing their hat. They're all laughing.
What is it with him and hats?
He just likes hats.
Don't you?
Not enough to steal them.
Maybe you just haven't found the right hat.
Yeah.
That is possible. Probably unlikely, but possible.
Let's see. Okay, so I did not actually consider the idea of somebody looking for work, and I should have. Now I'm wondering, how does one find that?
It's on the jobs table.
No, not that. Like, how do you get a job? Here we go.
Wow, he's trying to bail on us and get a different job. We see how it is.
I just need some pocket change.
You're not workaholic, are you? I don't think you are.
I don't think so.
You just taking anything you can get?
Well, I prefer loading freight and stuff. I have skills in that, but... Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as payment and that sort of thing goes.
Yeah, I mean, like, money's money. Not too concerned about, how much I get as long as it's fair.
Okay, well, it looks like you'd be -1 for the population, and you don't speak Spanish, so you are going to be... Let's go -3.
I do speak Spanish, though.
Do you?
At least it's
Are you
showing
the
up
other one
on
that
the,
speaks Spanish?
Yeah. Spanish, Tuscan, and English.
What is it, accented? Indeed, it is accented. Alright, so that's -2. And if you don't care about the status level, etc., qualifications, you're definitely qualified. Let's see. Well, that'll probably make it about even. So you can give me an IQ roll, I guess, straight.
All right.
Alright, and success finds a suitable person willing to deal on standard terms. So, yeah, I guess that means you find a guy who will pay you a day's wage to load shit.
All right.
And it's probably not much, and it's going to be in local currency. Speaking of currency, there is going to be a bank here somewhere, and they can trade you for local coin of the realm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to do that after we arrange the hey, this is the
Stuff.
replenishment stuff. Tell me how much it is, and I need to go get the money from the bank.
All right. Now, in the case of, well, just to get it out of the way, Rogers, what is he specifically doing? He's just hanging out.
Observing specifically. He's hanging out, watching who's coming and going, what kind of cargo is being loaded and unloaded, what ships are in port, and also specifically keeping an eye out for the crew, which direction they went,
Right.
that sort of thing.
So he's doing spy stuff.
Shut up!
You're
It's not
gonna
spy stuff.
you're sort of buddy up with Davino at this point, though. Just not working.
Staying nearby.
All right, that's fine. It's a reasonably busy port, as it is. A lot of fishing traffic and that sort of thing. Local traders. All right, so Hayden and Spencer are doing the merchanting thing, and I'm going to have. Okay. So first off, what are you looking for? Are you going to look for freight, passengers, or speculative cargo? And when I say speculative, that is going to be under the table.
No, I'm looking initially for replenishment of existing stocks, and then I'll
you don't have to
look into that. Look into maybe passengers / freight.
There are going to be plenty of chandleries around that can sell basic provisions, so that's not hard to find at all. In fact, you won't even leave the docks area to get that. So early on, you start looking into that stuff, and then afterward, if you're going to be looking for any of the other stuff. And what I was going to say about the under the table is that yes, the Spanish don't allow trade with foreign merchants. However, corruption and smuggling and that sort of thing are actually pretty commonplace. So if you really wanted to get something, you probably could.
I am not the person to think about smuggling. I don't think like that.
Well, you wouldn't think of it as smuggling so much as this guy really wants to sell his stuff, and he will totally sell it to you if you don't say anything about taxes, because they're going to have to pay export duties to sell it to you. And of course, you're going to end up having to pay import duties when you get to Barbados. Which, speaking of, you go around basically telling everybody that you're going to Barbados, because that's how you advertise for passengers and whatnot.
Yeah. There's not going to be a whole lot of room for passengers.
Well, you never know. You can always sleep on deck.
How far away is that from here?
To establish that is going to be expected to be about a week. Between 5 and 7 days would be the estimate at this point. It's a bit of a longer one.
I can't really see getting passengers for that. Not on our itty bitty boat.
It's as we determined last time, the penalty for the size of the colony and the distance involved is pretty significant. So there is a good chance you won't find anybody. But it can happen. And you don't lose anything for looking.
This is true.
But that search takes a base of 2 days.
I don't know how long we are planning on actually being in town. Are we just resupplying and then bugging out?
You guys aren't in a specific hurry at this point, but nobody said anything about staying any extra amount of time. So now I'm assuming that making the arrangements for purchasing and loading the provisions will probably take the same amount of time. So I don't think it'll be any worse off.
Well, if that's the case, well, no, that's not true. Just buying this stuff. So we're going to be here at least 2 days then. What is that?
Unless you decide to hurry that. Unless you do a rush job.
No. Well, I have no idea why I would necessarily do that unless I am instructed to do so.
The one person that'd probably make a fuss is not here to make a fuss.
Well, he just met this very lovely Spanish girl named Maria, and in 2 days we're gonna have to go. Dude, we gotta go.
He may be more amenable to staying longer, the longer we stay.
Then he's going to go, guys, we need to go. We need to go now.
Right before you hear the bells ringing out of the fort.
Are those pitchforks? They really bring out pitchforks?
The governor's running out of the palace, shaking his fist.
Ah, Maria was the governor's daughter. I understand now. Yeah, I mean, if I've got no reason not to look, then I will make the attempt.
All right, what I will do is have you roll merchant for both, unless you are not specifically not looking for something. Then roll them both into the box.
Okay, am I gonna have penalties or stuffs?
I will assess that later, but you know.
Roger.
You know the penalties are pretty hefty. You can get assistance for that. So if Hayden is going to pitch in on that,
I don't think
that doesn't need to be in the box, though. Well, you could assist with something else.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Just having a quick look if there's anything else that might work. No, I think diplomacy.
Smuggling. That's not the box.
The assisted.
No, I
that
said
one
his.
doesn't have
I said his didn't need to.
Ah, okay.
Yes, at 2 and 1. Alright, then you had your assist.
And if I get the opportunity to accidentally purchase a violin or cello or something like that, I am totally gonna accidentally take it.
You didn't remind me to look for how much that cost, or did I?
I don't know.
I think that might be in Swashbucklers. I think I've seen that around.
I'll look while you're doing whatever
How
it
much,
is you're doing.
How much money do you have?
I have 0 money,
Okay, well, you won't be able to make much of it anyway.
but
At least
hey,
not
I'm
right now.
accidentally purchasing stuff for the ship. So
Well, if you buy it as company property, that's a whole nother matter. You have to discuss that with the rest of the company.
nah.
But I guess you have to find it first.
I'll burn the frickin' serendipity for the day, and they accidentally stuck it in there, and we're like, what? I didn't buy this.
Now, you've also got, I believe you've got 1 prep point, at least.
I do have 1 prep point. I have a
Where
couple
did I
prep
put
points.
those?
I have it on. No, I do not have it on there. Probably a note. Logistics note. Yeah. Personal.
Right, that's where I
yeah,
put it.
1. Everybody but WR has 1. Oh, nope. That's John and Bill have more than 1. Everybody else has 1.
Ah,
Right, and you still got 5 for the journey itself. All right, so you guys make the merchant rounds, hit up some pubs and whatnot, looking for people who might have freight that needs to go.
And if Artegal is found, looking at a violin or cello, whichever one it is that he wants, and he's looking at it longingly, and then looks at the price tag. If it's enough, or if Hayden has enough, he'll spring for the instrument, and he'll say, I think it might be good to have some music on board.
Well, you guys do have a hurdy-gurdy.
That's not music.
Yeah,
Sure it is.
sadly, Low doesn't have a whole lot. It has
Yeah, I
talking
don't
drum,
think Lotec
harp,
does.
shofar, fife, trumpet, bagpipe, church bell, hunting horn, kettle drums.
Yeah, the hurdy-gurdy is the Billie
Ah.
Eilish of the 18th century.
Actually, I keep meaning to watch. There's a girl named Patty Gurdy on YouTube that plays hurdy-gurdy music, covers of this and that, and some original stuff. The theme to Black Sails is a hurdy-gurdy.
Is it really? I did not know that.
Yep. So that's what it sounds like.
That
Huh.
makes it slightly cooler.
Yeah, that might change my mind.
I know, right?
It's like a bagpipe without the screeching. At any rate, you and Spencer, or Hayden and Spencer, will meet with a guy at a particular alehouse. And while you are there, you noticed an English sailor off in one corner by himself.
Oh darn! I was hoping it was an old guy with a kid, and he's got some a midget, and I don't know what. How are we going to have 3 people? A mime. No questions asked.
I've already done that joke.
Doesn't mean it couldn't be done again. Because it's a good joke.
Remember how that got worked in? Yeah, never mind. Let's not dwell on the past. And he hears you guys speaking English, and he'll wave you over at one point after you're done with the merchant you were talking to.
Well, hello there. Hello there.
Hello, Obi-Wan.
He introduces himself as Captain James Button of the Fortune.
Nice. Well, how do you do there, Captain Button?
And apparently he's an old sea captain, and he's in town on the way to Jamaica to get some sugar and head back to the continent. And was just happy to hear some familiar voices.
Well, I have to chat with him and find out what's the word. And actually, I'm kind of presuming that's definitely going to be something that Hayden's going to want to do.
He'll turn to
Since
Artegal and
Hayden's
say,
doing his,
haven't you heard? The bird is the word.
No, Greece is the word.
I thought it was persnickety.
Or it's up.
Perspicacity.
Whatever.
Next time the hurdy-gurdy is unguarded, I'm putting it over the side.
What? Really?
Yeah, I just listened to Patty Gurdy. Details in chat.
You have to link.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Link follows.
Yeah, it doesn't bother
And you
me.
got that one.
It's pretty awful. Oh, did you link a different one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's Black Sails theme.
Ah, okay. See, that does sound better. But it also has other instruments. It's not just the single.
Well, I think that's probably true of any instrument. It sounds better when it's with other instruments.
I don't know. Harmonica sounds fine by itself. Ukulele sounds fine by itself. Hurdy-gurdy, not so much, apparently. Maybe I just picked the wrong cover. I mean, Sweet Dreams is a song that I like, so I picked that one. I didn't really do any further research.
Well, you never know. But, yeah, so Captain Button will go on about his time in the Bahamas and whatnot.
I won't object if you throw it over the side. I'll gladly look the other way.
It doesn't bother me terribly.
It may never be unguarded. A monkey is involved.
Ooh, we need to teach the monkey to play it.
I don't think that'll work.
I think it will. A bunch of us
Oh.
got teaching.
Don't underestimate Boob's ability to learn.
I don't,
And
I
I
don't
have
think his
musical
arms are long
position.
enough.
Note to self, put Spencer over the side.
Attached to the hurdy-gurdy.
Weighted down by it.
At any rate,
See,
you
so
got
he's
anything
coming.
to-
He said he's coming from Jamaica.
No,
That's
he
where
says
we
he's
were
going
coming
to,
from, right?
He's
Oh,
going
to
to
Jamaica.
Jamaica. He's going the other way. He'll be
Right.
making stops in the Bahamas on his way up to Bermuda and then out to Europe.
I guess, relate all of the information that we have, and well, not all the information, but wait, why am I doing the in there? That's
Bermuda,
sailing
that's-
stuff. That'd be Hayden.
Bermuda, that's the last location that he had of his son.
That was the Bahamas,
Bahamas.
and you were specifically looking at New Providence as well. That was just that's the capital of the Bahamas, quote unquote. But he did mention the Bahamas a bit. He is going that direction.
Well, when we get down to talking, Hayden will he'll just chat about current affairs and any news here or there, anything of interest, and then he'll make particular mention about his son, that he's looking for his son, and he doesn't expect the odds on this guy ever running into his son to be high, but he'll mention if someone that goes by this name crosses his path at all, and just let him know that Hayden's looking.
Well, what do you know? He'll ask what information do you have on this guy?
Well, Hayden has a name. He has his most recent employment. He was with the Navy, and a last known location.
All right. Well, he wasn't technically with the Navy. He was aboard a privateer. But you mentioned the cardinal virtue, and Captain Button will say that, yeah, I have actually heard of that ship. I seem to recall that sometime
went down,
around
everybody
the
died.
sometime around the Spanish invasion of New Providence, believe he heard of that particular ship's name having been captured by the Spanish.
Hayden will lean in because this is certainly interesting. It says, "Really? Do you know what happened to her crew?"
He had a couple of friends, or acquaintances, probably a better word, that were sailing aboard, and he knows that they were taken prisoner, and he doesn't know what happened to them after that.
So where did this happen?
It was somewhere in the Bahamas around New Providence during the invasion. That was in like 1720, I think. So 5 years ago. Happens to also be the events of season 3 of Black Sails. Never mind the historical inaccuracies.
Alleged.
Oh no, they weren't alleged. They were pretty blatant.
Allegedly.
So he doesn't have any specific information about Matthew, but you do now at least have a piece of information that the Cardinal Virtue was captured by the Spanish.
What is the normal practice by the Spanish regarding prisoners and such?
They ate them.
If you had to guess, you'd probably say that the chances were pretty good, given the geography, that they would have either been taken to St. Augustine or Havana, possibly, and held there until the war was over. And that's assuming, their health and that sort of thing. Might not necessarily have been the best treated in prison, but as prisoners of war, they're not allowed to just go out and shoot them either. Now, on the other hand, they were privateers, so they could have seen that as piracy, and maybe they hanged them all as pirates. It's hard to say.
And prisoners of war are usually let go after the war?
That's generally how that works, as far as I know.
Or during, if they give their parole not to...
Or that, yeah.
They could be given their parole if they agree not to engage in the war any further.
Also true.
So they're normally taken to Havana, and where was the other place?
St. Augustine, or just any major ports in the area, Spanish ports. But seems like Havana would be the closest.
And where is that in relation to us?
Well, why don't I show you? Let's see, that's going to be that one. It's going to take a minute to open because it's a big image. Havana is there. That is where New Providence is. You are currently over there.
So
yes.
We're heading that way in a very roundabout way.
In a roundabout way. Now, you had already planned on going to New Providence and checking around up there. You've got the name of Matthew's good friend that you were going to go talk to him.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Hayden will offer to buy the gentleman a drink.
He will gladly drink that drink.
What does
God
that
save
cost?
the Queen. Shilling? Well,
Should be.
normally a shilling
Is it?
in this
Is it
case.
Shouldn't it be the king gets point?
Did I say the Queen?
Yep,
I didn't mean to.
because Victoria is not until the 1800s.
Well, it was Queen
And
Anne
Elizabeth is
before,
dead.
before this one. But no, it's George I right now. Yeah, so I don't recall right off the top of my head how many local currencies it is and whether or not you've got any, but I'm sure you can sort that out.
Being a tavern that caters to sailors and such,
That's true.
they probably accept shillings.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, anyway. It's about that much. Yeah, the report I have is you can get buzzed on a shilling, and on 2 shilling you can get drunk off your ass.
Alright, so for 1 shilling it's more than 1 drink.
Yeah, possibly. But you may be buying one for yourself at the same time. It's an easy denomination to work with.
Okay, well I've scratched off 1. And that will be as many drinks as 1 shilling buys.
In the meantime, Mr. Spencer will have wandered a bit.
Yep. Because he was wandering up down the line, trying to find out how much a cello actually costs in this time period. But he's not finding that information out.
He ended up outside, looking at, wandering around, looking at possible music instrument places, and he sees a guy across the street sitting outside a boarding house in a little shaded patio thing, and he calls out to you, says, "You there, English gentleman? Won't you join me for some tea?"
Tea? Ooh. What sort of tea? And then I'll step over there and probably get into some trouble.
Who knows? Says, well, it's come straight from Batavia in the east.
Ooh, how exciting.
He's got a nice little tea set, a little table, a couple of chairs there, so you grab the other seat. Says, you call
I have
me
to introduce myself.
Damian Rush, sir.
Very good, fine day to you, Mr. Rush.
And his English is really good, but you do detect a hint of some accent you can't quite put your finger on.
Oh dear.
He says, well met, Mr. Spencer. You take sugar?
I think I do.
And as he's doling out the lumps, say, how fascinating that no one in Europe even knew of this stuff a century ago, and yet it has become such the desired commodity there that so much blood and treasure is spent in the cultivation and processing and transport of it. So much industry for an otherwise insignificant bit of grass.
But it's a very tasty bit of grass.
Indeed. So tell me, sir, have you found what you seek yet?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm seeking all sorts of things.
Aren't we all? All of us, the wanderers, we're all looking for something, are we not? A respite from the mundane, sense of purpose, lost love, perhaps? Or is it that you do not yet know what you seek?
Okay. I am going to actually make a check here on something. Because Artegal has an intelligence of 14. So he is not a stupid man. Let's see, how's he going to respond to this? He has a suspicion that this guy is not who he appears to be. And let's see, how does he actually answer that? He wants to answer the questions without actually answering the questions.
Right.
Which
Right.
is probably the same sort of thing that this dude is doing to him.
I won't make you actually have to figure that out for yourself. But
because I'm gonna suck at it.
We'll presume that you actually pull that off, and he'll smirk at that, say, "Well said, sir. Well said."
And what about you? What brings a gentleman such as yourself in such a strange location? And can I also make a linguistics check to try to identify the language or the accent?
I am not requiring a check in that regard. You know that this accent is a mix of things, and it's hard to pick out which one's which.
Which case he may actually
just a hint.
Comment on it. That's a very interesting accent, sir. Where would you happen to be from?
Oh, I'm from many places. I'm a wanderer, after all.
And he's probably not realizing that we're shifting through multiple languages as we're talking.
When you slip into another language, Greek, for instance, he'll respond in Greek.
Something to note, he has a quirk that he doesn't really realize that when he does that sometimes.
And your tea companion doesn't even bat an eye.
And I suspect Artegal isn't going to really realize it, since I do have the absent-minded. He's not going to realize that happened until much later.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, that dude, let's see, he spoke Greek and Dutch and French. Wow. I hope I run into him for again.
And so you guys are getting into saying things without saying things, or not saying anything while saying things.
That's how you
very
talk
briefly,
to fairies.
Very briefly, a woman comes out of the boarding house you guys are in front of, and surprised to see you there, and asked who you were talking to.
Let's see. That's probably going to be one of those. Well, I was talking to my, and he's not. There's no one there.
There is no one there.
That is a very fine question, madam. Now, who was I talking to? Is there actually tea here?
Yes. And she doesn't recognize the set.
In that case, wondering if I should take it with me. No. Well, I'm gonna have to. It's like, well,
That's
my
tricky.
friend seemed to have. My friend seems to have left his tea set. So, since we're using your boarding house area here, it is only clear that I need to gift this to you.
That's about the time when Hayden has wrapped up talking to Captain Button and realized that you weren't there anymore, and has walked out of the tavern to find you.
You should sell the tea set, talk to more
How
imaginary
much
friends,
would you? It's like,
and
how much
keep
would
selling
you pay
TZs.
for this tea set, ma'am? Look at it; it's very lovely. Got nice filigree, but note there's no silver.
Actually, the teaspoon is silver.
Well, that's not right. Fairies can't handle tea or can't handle silver.
Right. Well, the day goes on.
Yeah, but I will totally sell that tea set as appropriate.
All right. Well, you will totally get some money for it. I'll have to tell you later how much, because I don't know. Maybe enough for an instrument.
Maybe.
The day wanes, and
When that happens, I'm really gonna burn the serendipity. The guy's like, "Yeah, I'm getting rid of this old instrument," and I look at it and be like, "Okay, yes, I will gladly pay this money," and run off with the Stradivarius equivalent that I paid $75 for.
Well, you could actually just trade the set for it directly.
I could find that.
But as I was saying, the day wanes on, and you're basically done with your running about. Divino will have been worked well, and probably ready for a drink or something.
Or maybe more than a drink.
Who knows? Who knows?
I guess during that time, Hayden will also procure some opium.
Restock.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to find that relatively easy. There's actually a hospital here.
Yeah, something you just mentioned makes me think there, Daniel. Is that appropriate use of like the serendipity thing where it's like look up and hey, there's a place that actually has a freaking like a cello in it, and I can actually swap the stuff for that because he's like, holy cow, this is awesome china, and I'm like, yeah, that's an awesome cello. He's like, yeah, I'm about to throw it out.
That would seem reasonable to me, I think. Although, do you really want to spend that for that? What if somebody shoots you in the face by the end of it?
Why would they do that? I'm a perfectly nice person.
One never knows.
Well, I'm at least gonna find out if the person is willing to swap for the China.
I would say that at the very least, you will have identified the instrument that you seek.
True. And I probably should hold on to the potentially evil fairies China, and so when I run into him again. All right. Sorry.
What day did the campaign start?
1st of January.
Okay, so that's... Did we work out how many shillings per day is opium, since you were not using GURPSes?
Oh.
2 GURPSes per day converts to what?
No, we did that. And I've slept since then, so I have to go look it up. You are that guy. Let's see, so 4 to 5 pence per day. So you would have used you probably wouldn't be counting from the 1st of January. You'd probably count from the 3rd or 4th when you actually left. And in which case you've got, 7 days worth?
Well, I've actually got, I went and bought 90 or 100 days worth, so I've got 93.
Right, but you would be down. You'd be down like a week's worth, so you'd only need to replenish a week's worth to get back up to where you were. But 4 to 5 pence a day is, I don't remember how much a pence is. Right. About 2-3 shillings for a week. Thereabout.
So 2 shillings is a week.
You get slightly more specific. Calculating. So that's 6 pence. Let's see. Yeah, it's less than let's say about 3 shillings for a week. Without doing more maths than I have to. We can get more specific later if you want to. I'm okay with making some change. Plus, you're in a foreign town, they're probably going to charge more anyway.
Just need to make sure I track it, since it's a requirement for the addiction or the disadvantage.
Yeah. The requirement is 2 GURPS per day.
Well, up to.
Or, up to. I'm assuming 2. Because I don't have a better amount.
Alright, so if I write down 3 shillings per week, that works?
Yeah, for now. Like I said, I can get more specific later, but that'll do if in a pinch.
Then I'll spend the 3 shillings and restock.
So be it.
So what does Davino say the money that he earned on?
We'll hold on to it for now.
That's boring,
but effective.
but so boring. You should do something
good.
really cool. Have your monkey get you in trouble.
Well, that doesn't cost anything until after. Let's see, you're probably doing a porter, so that is a monthly pay of 160. So divide that by 30. Assuming that's even relevant. Okay, so that's about 5.5 GURPS, which is going to be so they'll give you 2 realis and some change. And he's probably not all that familiar with Spanish currency, so he may not know how much that's even worth.
Well, could I head to the bank and swap it over to British, or do they pretty much only exclusively convert into Spanish?
Well, it's a Spanish port, Spanish dock workers. They paid you in Spanish money. You go to the bank and change it over for something English, but you're still in a Spanish town, so you can still buy beer with it.
No, I'm good. I'll convert it out and hold on to it.
All right. Well, you pocket whatever you made. I would say that Rogers had an interesting day. Let's see what how interesting Rogers' day went.
Oh dear.
He doesn't actually speak any languages other than English.
Correct. But he assumes that everyone else does as long as he speaks loud and slow.
Well, there is one good thing in your case is that sailors, whatever their national language are, they all speak the same sailing language.
Oh, like the names of the ropes and all that stuff?
Well, they probably had their own version of it, but if they're talking about ropes. Card, what do you got? The chariot? Chariot upright. What is that? La la la. Chariot. Meaning. I have no idea what that means. I suppose that would be you interacted a fair deal with the crew that has gone ashore, and they're all looking at you like a leader at this point.
Fair enough. That's a role I can play.
So you did a lot of coordinating with the guys running about. All right, the day is wrapping. What now?
Oh, I guess we probably need to return back to the ship.
Yeah, and try to round up anybody who doesn't show.
Oh wait, no, we need to go to that place where dude was at with Dora.
Mermaid's Tail.
Yeah, I have to go see if it's an actual mermaid. I'm gonna be very disappointed if there isn't.
It is the Cola de Serena. Mermaid tail. Yeah, so you guys head over there in the general direction of where he had pointed out earlier. And you smell it before you actually go inside. It's
Oh dear Lord, a house of ill repute.
when you go in, you realize this isn't a brothel. It's actually a pub, a public house, somebody's living room or whatnot, where they have the tables set up. People can come in and buy drinks and food and whatever, and somebody's in there cooking, and it smells awesome. And Furlong is at one of the tables, and he waves everybody. He says, "Hey, you finally showed up." You also see Dora there, clearly wearing somebody else's clothing, and her hair is still wet. And she's eating something you aren't familiar with.
I'm looking around for the tail of the mermaid.
The tail of the mermaid was on the sign outside.
Is that it? That's disappointing.
Did everybody go?
Yes.
I didn't actually clear
Sure.
that up.
Yes.
Yes, and pay no
right.
attention to this china that I'm carrying.
So he waves you guys over to the table and calls out for Mamacita, and you see an older black lady who is dressed middle class, so she's clearly a free black, and probably got not 100% black, which isn't that unusual. And she's a fairly jovial, nice person, a little bit snarky with Furlong there. They seem to have some kind of history. And she offers everybody drink, food. Furlong says her fried plantains are the stuff of the gods.
Let's see, does Artegal know what a plantain is? That's the fried banana thing, right?
It is some kind of banana-related thing.
It's a banana with lower sugar content. Quite delicious when prepared correctly.
Yeah, because I know I've tried it. I've never really liked it.
I hate bananas, and I can't imagine
I
finding
like
plantains useful. But some people do.
Like this guy. Yes, okay. Well, crap. What do we got? All right. Well, I guess sit at the table and discuss. And I like to find the story out about this guy and her. Been here before,
well.
have you?
Yeah. You had always kind of had the impression that Furlong had been around a bit, and apparently he's been here multiple times, and Mamacita knows him fairly well. She's also got a few, probably her daughters or something, maybe granddaughters if she's that old. That they're running around helping out and that sort of thing, cooking and bringing the food out.
Totally gonna have to look at Furlong and go, "Are they yours?" With a question mark.
No.
Mr. Spencer, mind your manners, sir.
Not that I would have a problem with that, Mamacita. I love you. You know that.
Did you infer that I would? I'm merely curious. I'm also wondering about the name of this place. I don't see a mermaid or the tail of a mermaid.
Well, who has?
Well, I was hoping I was about to, but alas.
I remember seeing a report of, I think it may have been Columbus crew or some ship crew, this real life report, and they had apparently seen some manatees and thought they were mermaids and complained that they were not nearly as beautiful as the artist presented.
Damn it. I just recognized that guy. The strange dude.
Oh. Took you a bit?
I don't want to be having tea with Brainiac.
Don't you? That doesn't mean anything. Don't read into it. So you guys get settled in, you get some food, and it is, as advertised, very good. And Dora seems to be much relaxed at this point. Still not saying anything. Something you noticed about Dora is someone who's mute normally still has the ability to make some kind of sounds, but she doesn't make any sound at all. Like no grunt or whistle or anything.
That's not good.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to bother her.
Is she breathing?
As far as you can tell.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
She could sigh at least. That's about as
Good enough.
About as loud as she gets.
Yes, she's actually a vampire.
Sorry. Just
Which
when you tell me,
Mamacita come back and ask about that too. She's saying what a lovely guest she's been, although rather quiet. Wondered if there was something wrong with her.
Well, she hasn't talked to us yet either. Alright, yeah, okay. I am trying to think of what else I would like to do. I can't think of anything other than probably going to bed and dealing with the other stuff tomorrow.
While you guys are settling in, eating and all that, drinking and whatever, Mamacita comes back out and tells Furlong, says, by the way, you've left some of your things behind here. If you come back here, claim it and get it out of here as quickly as possible.
Gonna have to look at Furlong and go, what sort of thing? Being curious again.
He's as confused as you are. And I don't remember leaving anything behind, but yeah, sure. So he'll get up and go into the other room, and you hear him exclaiming over there.
Is it a good exclamation or a bad one?
You would not refer to that as a good exclamation. He comes back with another fellow.
That doesn't look like belonging.
And he introduces this other guy as this is Shifty, an old acquaintance of mine. And Shifty is looking rather
Shifty?
nervous at the moment. Luke, you gotta get me out of here. The soldiers are coming after me. He also doesn't smell particularly good right now. Very, very sewer-like.
Almost like he's been in a tanner's.
Or other stinky places.
And what reason would the soldiers have to come after you, Mr. Shifty?
As he's talking about soldiers coming after him, you do remember now that there have been an awful lot of soldiers sort of poking around at door to door. It didn't mean anything to you at the time. Mamacita's in the room, and she'll point over to a notice hanging on the wall over there.
It's in Spanish.
It is in Spanish, and it's talking about a highwayman supposed to be hanged tomorrow in the morning.
Evidently, Mr. Shifty here is supposed to be hanged upon the morrow.
And I like my neck the way it is. Thank you very much.
Does it say why he was supposed to be hanged?
Something about highway robbery.
In a completely blunt tone, Hayden will say, "Did you do it?"
Do what?
What you're accused of.
12 cases of highway robbery. One of impersonating a nun? Really?
That wasn't me. Okay, so he says that he may be guilty of some things, but not all those things. We hadn't killed anyone.
And so there is a murder charge there. Are the other charges extreme?
There isn't a list of charges on that. It's just an announcement that there's going to be a hanging in the morning, and he's a known robber and murderer that's been plaguing the highways outside of town. He and his crew, which have yet to be caught. Furlong and he are clearly well acquainted, and Furlong will admit that they used to run together back in the day.
Man.
He was always a bit of trouble.
A highway robber?
To be fair, I think this is the first highway robber you've run into.
We had those escape slaves mutineer guys in the previous one, the black guys. They were highway robbers.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I guess technically they were robbers, at least, not on a highway.
They could have robbed somebody who was on a highway.
I guess I probably wouldn't have a problem with that. There just weren't many highways on Ile Vache.
I didn't say it was a good highway.
As it happens, you can hear next door somebody knocking and demanding to be allowed in to search the place in Spanish.
Oh dear. Sounds like the gendarmes are here.
They're coming for me.
So now the question is, we get involved in that?
Duh, obviously.
Because if we don't, Furlong is gonna, disapprove. and we're going to get points there.
You could at least slow him down.
Yeah, Rogers is not nearby, but that's obviously player opinion.
No, I think everybody is having dinner here.
Oh, my bad. In that case, Rogers will say, of course we'll help.
All right, so how do we help?
I don't know. But the soldiers are next door, and they'll probably be coming this way shortly.
Back way out?
It's possible.
So it looks like Hayden is free to disregard the situation if he wishes.
Hayden will say, why exactly should we help you? We don't wish to draw the ire of the Spanish. We would be taking a risk. What makes that risk worth it? You are clearly guilty of the crimes, or at least some of the crimes you're charged with. Whether that means you should hang or not is yet to be determined.
With these words, Rogers will take a step back and sort of curb his enthusiasm and defer to Hayden's judgment in this matter.
The Shifty will explain that the Spanish were always the enemy. Just because the war is over doesn't mean we should stop. And Furlong's like, look, I gotta help him. You guys just stay here and I'll take care of this myself. There's no reason for you to get involved.
I'm afraid, Mr. Furlong, you are a member of our crew. If you are involved, then we are involved.
Well, then I apologize in advance.
He's going to pull some black magic too, isn't he?
So, Mr. Shifty, why exactly should we help you?
Christian charity?
I'm going to roll a reaction to this guy. Just 'cause.
It's not going to be good.
Nope, it isn't.
Yeah, he was in prison and he had just escaped from prison earlier in the evening. And at the smell, he will admit that he may have crawled out through the sewer tunnel.
Hayden will take a step back. The smell is a little off-putting.
And there's a knock on the door. And Mamacita will say, get him out of here.
Against his better judgment, Hayden will say, Mr. Furlong, get him out of here. We do not need to draw any undue attention to ourselves right now.
Well, the smell is already here, so when they come in, they're going to smell that. Probably.
Maybe. So, Furlong and Shifty go out the back way, and you don't hear shots fired or anything, so clearly there wasn't somebody standing out the back door. Mamacita will allow the soldiers to come in, and yeah, there are a couple of Spanish soldiers. And they demand to know if any escaped prisoners have been through here, specifically naming that guy and pointing to the notice on the wall about the hanging. And Mamacita says there's no one by that name here.
Obviously, they're speaking Spanish.
They are in fact speaking Spanish, and quite quickly. So only a couple of you actually know what's being said beyond guessing. Nobody taking any actions at this point.
No.
Hayden will turn to Artegal and say, "Can you ask them what he did?" Or ask
Probably,
them.
yes.
Actually, not us. He. What they did.
You have prisoners that have escaped. What did they do?
They escaped.
No, I meant before that.
Robbers. Caught them in the act, or caught him in the act. With a
Just one?
load of goods. Haven't found the rest of them.
Is
Wait, I'm
robbery a
confused.
hangable
You
offence?
said-
Sorry, what?
I was just asking. Is robbing normally a hangable offence?
Varies by local government.
It depends on how badly you've pissed off the local authorities.
Yeah, the governor of the colony has the mandate of the king, and in the absence of the king, they have the authority of the king. So if you have a tyrannical colonial governor, yeah, absolutely.
And as Artegal is sort of translating a little bit, the soldier said, "Do you think this is a joke?"
I'm sorry?
Are you in league with this guy?
What guy? I'm asking questions.
This man seems to think it's funny.
All right. I forgot about that.
I wondered if you might have forgotten.
I assure you, sir, I do not find it amusing. As the players laugh.
I bite my thumb, sir, but not at you, sir.
No, I have a quirk level. I have a dishonest face. I always look like I'm smirking.
Oh no.
Because the actor that I use, I swear, he just always looks like he's smirking.
What have you done?
The soldiers, well, they don't toss the place, but they go and do a fairly thorough look through, and come back and say, "Oh, he's not here."
No, that's my china. You can't take that.
Kind of smells like he's been here, though. Actually, I take that back. The smell of the cooking probably overrides that. They may have.
They're like,
they may
depending
have
on
taken
how,
a little bit of that.
Yeah, I was thinking, depending on how long they've been after him, they may have come in here and been like, "All right, we'll check against lovely cooking smells. You at -5." And then like I'm not paying attention. It's like, man, we're gonna have to take this and this. It's evidence.
So the
Tasty
soldiers
taste evidence.
will gather back up at the front door and turn back to everybody that's in here and says, the governor's offering a reward at 20 pesos per head. If you recover him or his associates.
I will translate that. Then ask in English. I'm like, wonder how much a peso is worth. Actually, what is that? Finance?
I will tell you that. I'll tell you that in a minute.
Oh,
right,
so they
yeah.
want him and his guys, or the goods? I'm sorry.
They're looking for the people, so 20
Oh.
pesos per head, and that comes to about 400 GURPS.
So we've got a description of the one guy based off of the wanted poster, right?
Well, it's not a wanted poster; it's just an announcement that there's a hanging. So there's
Okay,
not
but
a,
what
there's
do
not
the
a
other
picture or
guys
anything
look
like that, but you don't know. To be fair, they probably
I'll
don't
ask him
know either.
Oh, well,
To
I
be
was going to ask him
fair.
for a description.
No, the only one they know what he looks like is the guy that just escaped prison, and how many of the soldiers actually know what he looks like?
Well,
But they will depart. Buenas noches, and leave the building onto the next one. Nope, that one's locked. Moving on to the next one.
and then the dude is gonna slide in here and no questions asked. Just wants to avoid any smash entanglements.
All right. What's next?
Well, let's see. It's evening, right?
Yes.
So we probably need to return to the boat. And go to bed. Sleep.
Well, you don't have to sleep on the ship.
I don't have any money. And oh no, my china disappeared. How'd that happen? Fucking fairies.
Furlong will pop back in from behind and say, "Are they gone now?" Or from the back room.
Temporarily.
It's like, I gotta get
totally
him.
murdered his buddy, hasn't he?
I gotta get him out of town. He says he's got his buddy's camp is out in the woods to the north.
That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, do we go with? I'm not sure if we trust Shifty enough to go with.
If we go with, then we're also implicated in the crimes. We become the associates.
Yeah, probably need to ask Thomas. Is like, are you absolutely sure about this? He seems like he's going to get you into a lot of trouble.
Oh, he excels at that.
Oh my god, he's your R2. I'm sorry.
I have to help him. You guys don't have to help me, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if you did.
Well, I have a sense of duty to my crew / patients, so I will probably offer to assist in whatever way I can, although, as we know, I'm not particularly good at this sort of thing.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Oh no.
What?
Hayden is definitely going to lay life and limb on the
Oh,
line
I didn't see that.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he could probably care less about Shifty, but Furlong is part of its crew, damn it.
So Hayden will say, I'm afraid, Mr. Furlong, you are under our employ, and you have not been given liberty to help or escort this gentleman to his camp. And then there'll be a long sort of uncomfortable pause, and he'll say, until right now, we will help. I do not agree with this man's hanging. Crimes of robbery do not deserve the noose.
In other words, Mr. Furlong is not allowed to hang without permission, and he does not have our permission.
Shifty, Furlong's not hanging.
Yet.
Oh,
Not today.
you know what I meant.
I'll remember that.
Hayden will call over Mamacita. She's obviously cool with this guy being who he is, since she said nothing to the Spanish and stuff. So Hayden will ask, is there anywhere this man can get cleaned up? That smell is wretched.
Anywhere not here.
Well, how far away are we from the actual dock with water? Just shove him into the bay.
Well,
Yeah, or take him to the ship and turn the hose on him before he comes on board.
I don't want to take
evidently
him to the
there's
ship.
evidently there's a moat, and there's also the river.
His clothes. Sorry,
His
got a
clothes are
bird in the
clearly
background.
not his clothes. Did you strangle it?
So the clothes that he's wearing, they're like covered in shit, like literally.
No, they are not. It is obvious that he got some new clothes on his way here.
Okay, so it's just him that stinks.
Yeah, and it's not that bad. Honestly, you've smelled worse. You're a Navy man.
But he's a British Navy man. That smell is wretched, sir.
Anybody that's been below decks in the South Pacific heat has smelled many a smell he'd rather not repeat.
Are we correct in assuming that this city is a walled city, and the only way out
It
is
is a
through the
walled
gates?
city. It is a walled city, and you need to go through the gates, although it looks to me like you could probably get out on the river, too, if you want to do that. Yeah, looks like there might be some kind of fortification along the river. At any rate, his camp is that way. So they had the perfect spot to hide out there. Nobody could ever find him. He only got caught because he'd come into town.
Well, we can't take him out through the gates. I'm sure, given the situation with escaped prisoners, all the gates will be watched.
There's a good bet. You could bribe. You could go over the wall. You could trick somebody at the gate. You could disguise him. There's any number of different things you could do. They don't have facial rec, so then honestly it'd be weird if they all knew what his face looked like in the first place.
But the police, or the local police, would at least have some sort of idea. You know, he would have been in the jail.
Yeah, maybe.
So at least some people have a positive idea on him.
They have something to look for.
Bill, you were down at the docks most of the day today. Was it well guarded?
Yeah, there were soldiers pretty much everywhere.
Pretty regular patrols.
I don't think that they were beyond bribery, but I didn't press on that. But the presence was constant.
I'm of the opinion that if we are to get this man out of Santo Domingo, to do it via the sea is going to be the safest option. I am sure the gates will be watched, at least for some time.
There is, just so you know, you see all the little forts on the wall. There's a good almost a mile in between those forts. Yeah, here and there.
Also, out of character, a few sailors carrying a drunken comrade who is fairly unrecognizable and dragging him back to the boat so they can row back to the ship would not be an uncommon occurrence in a place like this. So we could weekend at Bernie's him.
I think
But
that would be the safest bet.
take him to the ship.
No, but we can row him.
Row him
there's
up
the
river.
map. Yeah, we can take him upriver.
True.
All right, well, let's do the thing then.
Yeah, so we'll put a cloak over him, douse him in rum, and drag him along.
So, this is going to be a skill challenge, a sneak montage. The difficulty is going to be 4 out of 3, so 4 successes to 3 fails. Since it is evening, there will only be a bad of 1. Featured skills are going to be social engineering, stealth, disguise, that sort of thing. I'm going to consider this basically sequential, so whoever goes is they'll be going in sequence instead of all happening at the same time, more or less.
All right. I would like to go first with
Hold up.
teaching.
So success will mean that Shifty is going to actually escape town and not be pursued. Failure will mean that he will be caught and potentially with him if you're actually there, although you don't necessarily need to be physically present. So, having established that, go ahead.
I would like to be first, and I would like to use teaching to explain how we did this in the other India when we had to get a man back to the boat who was desperately wanted by the local law.
Is that teaching?
Excellent idea, Bill.
Isn't it?
I like it. I just wonder if there's a better one.
Seamanship?
That's pushing it.
Is it though?
What this be? This is life experience.
Maybe just IQ.
No. Yeah. I can get behind that.
Okay,
That IQ. So since you're
I'll just make it a
volunteering,
straight
you
IQ.
you go first. -1 for the bad.
Bad -1. Got it. So here's how we used to do it,
Good
boys.
deal.
So
We put a
I
cloak
came
over
in
him.
a little late. Okay, skill challenge. Okay.
Yeah. So we put a cloak over him, half bottle of rum, put the other half of the bottle in his hand, and then we carry him back to the boat. If anybody stops us, they'll never suspect a thing because this happens every day here.
And of course, as he's explaining this, the movie is showing the actual events.
Montage.
Maybe fast talk to get past some people.
All right, so you guys encounter some soldiers on the way to the docks, and Spencer is going to fast talk them in Spanish. What's the angle?
Exactly.
Just following the plan.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to
Right.
imply that I'm speaking accented, although that
Right.
may end up helping.
That's still a success. So that one's good.
Hayden will
Who's
use
next?
leadership. He's obviously the captain that's come ashore from the ship to gather the drunken crew who are late.
And he looks pissed off.
So it's more acting.
Well, Hayden doesn't have acting.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he could maybe use the leadership as he's like ordering us, it's like, get over there, do this, do that, do whatever. And it's like they see that, they go, oh, wow, look at that.
He's probably very proficient at yelling at people.
Well, he could use leadership that way, I guess, or tactics even. Directing traffic.
I've used leadership before. I'm going to use tactics because I haven't rolled that one yet.
I can get behind that. So -1. Looking good. I might make it out.
All right, Ethan. It's all on you.
You guys are in the boat and rowing now. You got to row past the fort, though.
Has he got sailing, boating?
It's an old code, sir, but it checks out.
Well, I have boating TL4 unpowered. Could I just get into the zone and just start rowing like there's nothing else?
Row
Okay,
casually.
so
Perfect.
you're rowing faster than humanly possible just to. No, we can't stop. We can't stop. Oh,
Sorry.
and you almost failed it.
I left the kettle on the ship.
Almost failed it. All right. You guys get upriver and nobody actually stopped you. Good job.
We are ridiculously competent.
We have just completed Thomas Furlong's loyalty mission.
Yeah, it's not over yet. So, you guys went upriver like so, and then you'll have to cross back in to get that direction out to where he says his camp is, and you have to tromp around a little bit in the dark to get there. But it's just a bit off the road, so no problem. No difficulties finding it.
He's totally going to find out that those guys are the ones that sold him out because they don't like him.
So he'll walk you guys through the fairly well disguised entrance into the camp area, and there's a little bit of a fire going, not much though, and they've got some kind of blanket or something to catch the smoke so it doesn't give away their position as much. But around the campfire you can see there are 4 or 5 other people over there, and they all as you're approaching jump up with guns pointed and all that, saying, "Who goes there?"
I go there. So we shove Shifty. He goes there.
Shifty announces himself to his old crew and says, "I've
And they
escaped.
shoot him.
I've escaped prison." And
Damn, I want them to shoot him.
you guys get in closer, and they're not lowering their weapons, and they're all looking at each other like, "What the hell?"
Oh boy.
Did
Says,
Mr.
"What are-
Shifty lie to us, gentlemen?
What are you doing back here, Shifty? We sold you. How did you escape?" And Shifty's very confused right now. And says, what do you mean?" You guys are my family. And one of the guys, who's apparently the leader, basically says that, or what you would deduce from what they're talking about is that they are the ones that gave him up for a reward, and they're actually over there counting it out right now. And Shifty is a little
He's all
shaky
depressed.
and sort of collapses to his knees there in front of him. It's like, "How could you?" Says, "We never liked you, Shifty. You're nothing but trouble. You were gonna give us up."
I sort of envision Shifty going, "Well, I wasn't before, but I am now."
And by the way, Bob slept with your girl. They might as well just come out and say it.
Man, they're just kicking him while he's down, aren't they? This is a supervillain origin story.
And, before you might have been a little, you might have thought not too well of Shifty, but now you're looking at him, it's just so pathetic and sad. He's just on the verge of outright tears. And he just doesn't know what to do with himself.
Well, he's clearly not British because British men don't cry.
Have they,
They have that stiff
lowered their
upper
guns?
lip.
Well, he's a Scot. Say again?
Have they lowered their guns?
No, they haven't. And they say, well, we've got to take you back, or they're going to come for us.
And Artegal, not really thinking anything of it, because, absent-minded, he's a little crazy, is going to comment out loud, it's like, double dipping, so you'll get paid twice. That's totally going to end up causing Shifty to attack them, isn't it?
Well, as you mentioned that, Shifty stands up and just sort of in a single motion sort of screams in a pathetic war cry, sort of half between a sad and angry. And you don't know where the knife came from, but he's got one, and he just jumps on the leader and starts like a sewing machine, just stabbing away uncontrollably. And at that point, guns are going off.
Who are they going off at?
Nah, I don't think so.
Who are they going off at?
Everybody.
Including us?
Yeah, they were pointed at everybody because they don't know who you are.
Gentlemen, defend yourselves. Oh, it's on.
Dude, I just heard the Star Trek Amok Time music start playing.
Alright, I gotta get situated here. Now, while I am getting situated, I see no reason why, suspecting something might go down, that somebody might not have made some sort of tactical consideration.
Yeah, actually, Rogers would have seen that something was about to happen. He would have used one hand to reach for the guy as he tried to leap but missed him, and used the other hand to unlimber his cutlass, which is, in mechanical terms, going to count as his fast draw.
No, I mean,
And he would.
I think he meant. Go ahead.
And Rogers would say, "Gentlemen, prepare to defend yourselves."
Just wondering if somebody has tactics, they could roll it.
Yeah, specifically that was a.
If anybody has higher than an 11, then Rogers would count as an assist. Yeah. So Hayden's got extremely high tactics. Congratulations on making it by 3 instead of 4. You're welcome.
You did well.
Not really, but I appreciate the thought.
Your input was not welcome.
You're like, we should do that. And he's like, no, that's stupid. We would never do that.
More like, that's what I was going to say.
Let's see. Well, if Rogers was grabbing for him, trying to prevent him, then he would have been here-ish.
Actually, yeah. So I was grabbing for him, but I was actually not trying to prevent him. I was trying to appear to prevent him. Because
Or
Rogers is really ready for a fight,
Fair enough.
honestly.
It's been a while.
He'd really like to stick
Okay.
somebody.
So, in the middle there, you got the two of them on the ground. So that's their actual leader. Shifty wasn't apparently the leader.
Of course he was.
The leader is currently occupied with sharp stabbing pains in the chest. The others have
Sewing machine.
pistols of some form or another, and they're all pointed at random. Let's just figure out who they're pointed at.
You could roll 5d4s.
You could also go by appearance, which would
Alright, I have
favor
targeted
Rogers
them.
and Hayden.
So they're all targeting somebody. Can you even?
Why would it
You
favor
can't see
them?
their.
Oh, that facing. Gotcha, I see.
Also, yeah, I didn't get everybody's gear beforehand, and I should have. I don't see why Davino would be bringing the tree with him right now.
Alrighty.
You're missing a miniature there, Daniel.
Am I?
Where's the monkey?
I was
yeah.
just thinking I need to get the monkey out of there. Well, you can
Monkey!
get to him. He's in the PCs.
The
Oh,
monkey
we
can do
also
some damage.
We also need Furlong.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Forgot
Of course
Furlong.
I'm right.
Wow.
One more. Let's see. Well, we'll just grab a dude here. That doesn't even look remotely right, but he'll be over there because he was probably also trying to comfort him, and so I need to retarget.
Wow.
Is
Furlong's
that
let
what the
his hair
kids are calling it now?
All right, and we will kick it off. So, what has transpired is
a mess.
Shifty jumped on the leader and started stabbing away. And as soon as that happened, the bad guys are all in the process of pulling the trigger. Or pointing and pulling the trigger. So consider them waiting in that regard. But you guys were also waiting, so it's kind of a cascading wait kind of situation, in which case you guys are just going to get your initiative on that. Funny thing about these black powder weapons is the hammer drops, and there's actually a little bit of a delay.
Oh, like a spell.
Well, not like a spell, but you can actually... You could actually dodge the bullet because you'd see the hammer drop and the flash before you see the actual firing of the bullet.
Ah.
Well, to be
But
fair,
never mind.
what is it? The comment that it's like you can.
To be
You're not
fair.
dodging the bullet. You're dodging the shooter.
At any rate,
Who's this?
Oh, that's Furlong. I just grabbed something.
Who's let
okay,
his
thanks.
hair grow really badly?
Fixed. So Davino has the quicker reactions, and he sees that the bandits are indeed determined to pull the trigger.
Excellent.
Now you
Then-
could wait for him to actually pull the trigger.
No, I'll just shoot him.
That's the
Unless you
spirit.
just don't give a damn. And you have... Oh, I didn't put the range on there. Fixed. Alright, well, they are going to be able to react, so... Derp. And... That. Oh, made it by 1.
No.
Well, in your defense, there's another guy right behind him.
So what? Roll again, skill capped at 9?
Yep, that's how we generally do it.
Let's see, it's going to be at a -2, though.
That's a good
Oh my
roll.
god. Oh, you actually put the... Oh, you put the range in there. You put too much range on it, I think.
No, I just did the straight -5 for the cap at 9.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't need to do that,
so-
but
Ah,
I guess actually it still works. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, you hit the guy behind him instead.
I'll take it.
Outstanding.
Go ahead and roll damage. Alright, who is that? That's number 1.
So by capped at 9, it's not treated as my skill becomes 9. It's my skill
No.
still is what it is, but any modifiers that up to 9 basically become irrelevant.
So
Your skill with all the various penalties and stuff can be lower than 9, but it can't ever be higher than 9 if it's capped
Okay.
at that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
minus
weird.
2, I'd still be at 14. Minus
Yeah.
2, 12. Just can't be. It'll fail on anything more than a 9. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because I have
Which
seen
is
that
why-
in a situation where we're like, all right, capped at 9, and then you do the math and you go, oh, my skill is 6 right now. Ooh.
So, yeah, they could potentially... Your making it a -5 to drop it down to 9 was not incorrect. It was just unexpected.
Okay.
Okay, well, that guy took that shot, apparently. And he's not entirely happy about it. And he's not here.
All right. I will attempt to fast draw my cutlass.
And
That being
succeed wildly.
successful, that being successful, I will take a long step
Ah,
at the cost of 1 fatigue and stab Bandit 4.
have it you.
Wait a minute. I think my fatigue was still low from before.
Adjust as needed.
Yeah, okay. Nope, because I'm -1, it's actually correct now without any changes. So here comes the thrust.
Critical hit. Critical hit. Critical hit.
I mean,
That's not a critical hit.
no, but it's also not a miss.
Well, he's definitely going to do a retreating dodge from that.
Smart.
And he will... Man, I'm going to be like that today. Alright, he made it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, damn it. Sorry.
Well, get him, Hayden.
Alright, so Hayden is going to find some cover.
Wow, these guys are slower than me.
Well, they're just average.
but I have like move of 5.
No, you got 5/5. Your speed is 5/5.
Oh, right, 5/5. Okay, never mind.
So Hayden will move there for cover.
What?
He didn't want to get
Hey.
shot.
Hit somebody.
Gotta get sword and gun out.
Well, I think you having your gun out would probably be valid if he had it out already.
So having gun out is fine?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, then Hayden is going to shoot. Bandit number 5.
It was a Mexican standoff without any Mexicans.
Darkness.
Camp light? Firelight? I'm going to assume you're within the distance.
So that's -3 for camp light. So that's a hit.
No, you're within the normal radius.
Okay, still
I
a
think
hit.
it's 5 yards.
Shooting seconds.
All right. And that was 5, you said? Duck! He will not dodge. And you'll roll kind of shit for damage. Do the chest location. Nothing special. Humana. He has stunned. I believe that's going to have him kneeling. Next.
Recalling that I have combat hesitancy, and I'm not a combat-y guy, I don't freeze up, but I do go immediately for cover. And that's pretty much the extent of what he's going to be doing this round.
And his pistol that he has isn't actually loaded.
No, but I have a small sword.
Right, I was just establishing. I don't know if he even had it out, honestly.
Probably not.
All right, let's see. Do I get to kill a
Right,
piece
I
in a
guess
day?
I'll have to spend around the rest of the round drawing his sword.
Well, the nice thing is at these ranges, shooting is pretty easy. Oh man, these guys don't have the goddamn weapons on there. Screwed up my NPC. Yeah. Okay. Guess I get a slight downgrade because I was stupid. But they'll make the best of it. Alright, Davino, so the guy that was in front of you that you were shooting at went to a knee because he got shot by Hayden. The guy behind him that you shot... Oh, wait a minute. You did damage to him. He's, Well, if he weren't reeling from the pain of having just been shot, he would have hit you. But now he is not. Oh, and before I forget, let's see. You got smoke. You got smoke. And now there's smoke over there. All right. Yeah, you felt the crack go by. Where are you aiming at? You were aiming at Hayden, and he's still roughly visible, so that's it's about the same. And he was not shot at, so he will hit. And just in time, Brian, you've been shot at.
Okay. Hayden will do a diving dodge. And he'll use extra effort.
Lower it. All right. And now you are prone. Which way did you jump?
He would have gone for a place that gives him some concealment, so I guess the smoke.
Yeah. Okay, so just jump forward. Or to the side of it. Very well. And who are we shooting at? We're shooting at Bill. Alright, you are only a -1. And I have not been shot. Wow. That was a good roll. Alright, Rogers. Try not to be hit.
Not a crit, though.
Not a crit. That was a damn good roll, though.
I really want to attack next turn, though. I don't want to retreat.
You can't retreat from a ranged shot anyway.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you have luck?
I do have luck. I'm just going to dodge.
Use some extra effort.
Can I extra effort without affecting my forward momentum?
Yes.
And is that 2 or 3?
2. I guess it has been a while.
It's in the modifiers.
Shut up. Bah!
Wow.
I take the hit.
Not going to use luck?
No, because another guy is going to shoot me in a second.
Well, no. The other guy was pointing at Furlong.
Well, that's the guy I was charging, so I think they're both shooting at me. In character.
Do you have combat reflexes?
That should already be figured in.
Yes, I do.
In which case, since you got combat reflexes, you can probably tell that guy's not pointing at you.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's
probably
generally the way
reasonable.
I handle it, because it's like you're competent in combat. You're like, okay, I know what's going on. Me, I'm freaking out over here.
Oh, and for the record, let's see, I completely forgot. So Hayden made a tactics roll, and it looks like he would have had 2 2 plot points for tactics. So, mental note, you've got 2 tactics plot points, and I will let you use that for rerolls.
Well, before we get to that, though, what is the GM decision on this combat reflexes and knowing that I'm only getting shot at by one guy thing?
I think a combination of combat reflexes and just general observation, you've got a pretty high perception. I think it's reasonable to say that he knows that number 4 is not pointing directly at him.
Ah, okay. In that case, I will luck it.
And also everybody's sort of taking reactionary shots here, so if they weren't already pointed at you.
I was hoping for
Well,
a critical success so that I could make him shoot himself.
that would have been nice. Yeah, it doesn't work like
Just
that.
kidding. I know. But you know what I'm talking about.
One of these days, man. One of these days. All right. So you got lucky.
1950.
And so number 4 was shooting at Furlong. And he's also scared because there's this very confident Navy-looking guy stabbing things.
And dodging bullets.
Well, that's a good hit on Furlong. And he will have seen that coming. And he will be okay. That guy has to come out of stun. And he will not. All right.
All right.
Now we're to that uncomfortable part in the black powder weapons where everybody's fired their black powder weapons.
I don't know. Not uncomfortable for me.
He's got an axe on his foot.
Okay, now, so a reminder for you is you need to re-ready the weapon to use it as an axe.
Is that part of the move, sort of just as I'm stepping, just a little shimmy, or is that
step
like
in
the
Okay,
rest of my turn?
what were you doing? How far did
I
you
was-
go? You just took one step, right?
It was about 2 yards of movement.
Okay, so we allow a move and attack. What? No, it's a move or an all-out move, and ready is the house rule. You can take one step with a normal ready.
I think the house rule was
And-
to make a dex roll to take more than a step and also ready at the same time. And if you fail
Okay.
the dex roll, you get the movement but not the ready.
No, it was specific. Hold on, I need to remind myself because it's been a while. Okay, move and ready or all out ready. So the only choices are ready with the normal step. That's the normal one. There's move and ready, which will let you move more than one step, which is a dex -2. And then an all out ready, which will let you do half your move forward and do that, but you're not getting to attack, so you definitely don't want to do that one.
Okay, so no attack regardless.
True.
Not without a.
So
Oh.
you
Then I'll just
can
take the step,
stay where
walk into the smoke. And
you can step in and ready, or you can close the distance and ready, and then you're right on him.
I'll
Group
step in and
mastery
ready.
help?
I'm not going to move right.
You can
in
also
his face
melee
if I'm
attack.
not going to hit him.
Without the weapon. I mean, you can. You can attack someone with not with your unready weapon, but you can attack them personally. Like kick them.
Oh,
Oh,
actually, I'm okay. Oh,
Also,
true,
would grip
I guess.
mastery help in this situation?
if you had it.
Well, that's a perk
I'd punch
worth
him.
getting. If-
Nice.
Wow.
Critical hit.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Location?
And critical hit. Oof.
Oh man.
okay. For hit locations,
That's
can
hit
I luck the hit
location.
location?
That
Yeah,
should have
well,
been
I
Swashbucklers.
don't see why not.
Yeah, well, first you gotta first roll the critical hit table. Oh, you might actually look at that for a critical hit. If it's like no damage or no extra damage. Yeah, that might be
Oh.
something you want to.
Either way.
Okay, yeah, I will luck the critical hit table then.
All right.
Bold move.
Ooh.
Since the
Boo.
critical hit
Aw.
table sucks.
Yeah, well. All right. Well, he gets no defense.
Decent damage
Wow. No, that was me.
Yeah.
roll. Oh man.
That's alright. He took like 7 damage before.
Yeah, he's been shot, so you just put him down to 0.
You
Yeah, you
punched
hit
the
him
bullet
really
hole.
hard.
Now that
Punch where
wasn't
the bullet went in.
that wasn't a major wound, so he won't have to re-roll anything. But now he's at 0.
I am super proud that I suggested that.
There you go. Good call.
Yeah, good call. Thank you.
Now he can
Your
ready
weapon
the
is still unready, though.
he can ready the axe and finish him on the next one.
I can live with that.
But only when you hear that disembodied voice exclaim, finish him.
Alright, this is going to be a regular step and attack on Bandit 4. Are there any melee penalties for the smoke, or is that just ranged?
No, it's just ranged.
Alright,
You're
I'm
kind
going
of
to do...
half out of it anyway.
I'm going to take a -2 for Deceptive 1 then.
All right.
Hey.
Wow. That's a good roll.
Yeah, not bad.
Let's see. I have a pistol, and it's not in the best position to use. Yeah, I could technically parry with it.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, it's probably better than dodge. I'll use that one. Yeah, it's slightly better than dodge. All right. I'm gonna definitely retreat from that.
Hasn't he retreated since his last turn?
No, that was the other guy.
Ah, yeah, you're right. That was Bandit 3.
Well, okay. He tried to redirect your sword with the barrel of his pistol and did not make quite enough contact.
Well, this is gonna sting a
So
little
does-
bit then.
So does that mean he got stabbed in the hand?
Oh,
Yeah, just
man.
a very little bit.
Come on.
He just got poked a little. You didn't do location, or are you doing torso?
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't do any specific location.
Torso then. What is that? That's 4.
Have you hit this guy before?
And it's
No.
damage done.
We do have 2 rerolls.
I mean,
That's true. And you've also got Benny's.
honestly, I'd rather use those to save our lives than to end theirs, because we're actually in a pretty good position here.
It looks better for you than them.
Yeah, so let's save the rerolls to keep somebody from dying rather than cause someone to die. My suggestion. Your decision.
It's all good.
All right, next.
We'll get to his knees.
Oh, right.
I am actually relocating. I'm trying to get around in the presumption with the crazy chaos. They're not going to see me coming from this direction as I pick something up and hit one of them in the head.
Maybe. Who knows?
Are
Who
we
knows?
missing the furlong in the tracker? Because he's been in the same spot for the last 2 rounds.
He was mentally stunned. No, he's
Was
not
he really?
actually in the tracker. He should have been in the tracker. That would have been intelligent of me.
Because now I realize that I'm facing like 3 of these guys by myself. And I'm like, furlong. When I say with me, I mean like up here by me.
He's freaking out because he's suddenly just realized he's bald.
Oh, God.
Poof! He's gone.
Smell blams.
There. Fixed.
Damn, he's really far down. Why is he hostile? Oh God, he's hostile. He's turning on us.
It's a trap.
Okay, he's not hostile anymore.
I'm
Now
glad he's
Bandit
behind
5
me.
has said, I'm done.
I wouldn't want to
Hate
see
how
that.
it does that. All right. Well, Furlong would have gotten his go first. He's gonna shoot at number 3 since you've shifted over to 4. Let's see what's.
Okay. And if he was going before me, he wouldn't have to take the -2 for shooting through my hex. Or was it -4?
I don't. That's not gonna count. I don't think.
Or
Yeah.
he steps and he's at -1 instead.
And he shot him.
Now you need to add another smoke thing there because it's getting really smoky there.
Well, that's how it goes.
Yep.
Where did he hit him?
Hang on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, did you roll it for me?
I rolled foot apparently.
Okay. Sure. That was not expected, but whatever. Well, I think his foot is crippled. Surprising no one.
2 more smoke tokens. I'm declaring this site a Grateful Dead concert.
Well, at least one of them is no longer relevant. Let's see, that was number 3.
Hey, cool. This is a band of bandits. We can churn them in and get the reward.
How much of them did we need for the reward?
They
Was
said
it
20
the
pesos
head?
for head.
Ah, it's the head. Okay.
We can get rid of that smoke too. Oh, you moved. Okay, gotcha. I don't need any extra smoke for that.
Yes, you do. There's 2 smokes there now.
Alright, one was gonna shoot... Oh wait, no, one has fired. Yes, one fired. So, he is going to ready a cutlass.
There should be a
2.
smoke in that hex, if that's where Furlong fired.
Near enough.
No, Furlong step where he's at now to get the -1 because the guy was retreating. That's why he's at 2.
Cool.
Number 2 is going to draw a melee weapon. Number 3 has been shot in the foot
My foot!
and
my
is
foot!
currently screaming. Oh, you know what? I forgot to roll his stun, which he will fail. So now he will roll to come out of stun and also fail. He may have had enough. Alright, number 4 has been stabbed a little, which, even though it wasn't all that destructive, is still a bit disconcerting. He has, in fact, been stabbed.
We were supposed to win.
And he is not properly armed, so he is going to draw a weapon and take a step back. So he will pull a cutlass. Number 5 is still stunned and is not getting any better. Alright, your guy's still on his knee.
Oh.
Technically, you would need to ready it before swinging.
Oh, that is right. I apologize.
He didn't want to use
Yeah.
that roll anyway.
You did the kick.
I really
instead
hate
of
that
the...
there's not a. I hate that there's not a ready and attack. All right, but now you got it. Now you got it set for a proper swing.
Next time, buddy. Next time.
You lining him up.
All right. I'm not going to do a charge or a long step. I'm going to take a step, take full defense, and I'm going to say, drop it or die. In English. Hopefully he understands.
As far as you knew, they were English. They're all speaking English. So if that is going to be an intimidate, you can go ahead and make a roll on that. If you are specifically targeting him, you don't have to deal with targeting everybody else.
I'm still watching for attacks because, Bandit 2 could come at me from the right. Like I'm not.
I mean, with the intimidation, you don't have to intimidate everybody at once. You can just intimidate.
Oh yeah, no,
him.
it's just the one guy, and I don't actually have intimidation, so I'll just take a default on that, which I think is IQ minus something. I'm just gonna roll
5,
Probably 5.
Actually, I think it's will minus
so
5.
He probably won't fall for that.
Okay, well, you're no worse off. It's not like he's gonna try to
But I am
kill
in
you
full
less.
defense.
Hayden will
Okay.
stand and ready.
Moving.
Roger, moving. Alright, Furlong is fired, and now he's got to draw a dagger or something.
He does
Okay.
not have a sword?
Well, he may not have been ready for that.
Well, clearly he's going to take one of these guys' cutlasses as we're done.
There's no reason for him not to have a cutlass. He's got a cutlass. Alright, let's see. So, that guy drew a sword, and now you've got the guy in front of him and the guy beside him. And multiple guys are bleeding. Well, I think it's going to have a stab at Hayden there, since he's right in front of him.
That's not Hayden.
All right, isn't it?
That's Hayden.
You're right.
Well, who the hell is that?
That was the boss and Shifty. Nope, he's gonna come back over here with Davino then.
Well, I don't know. He might actually smack Shifty if Shifty is taking out the boss.
Well, I figure they're going to prioritize the guys that are standing up. And plus, Davino is lining up on number 5 over there, so he's going to need help. I'll have a swing at you. If I can find the damn thing. Where's my cutlass? I'll cut you. Wow. And make it. Defend yourself. Now, if you have the axe ready, I believe that is unbalanced. Therefore, if you parry with it, you will not be able to. Wait, is that how that works?
I think
No,
so.
I think it's actually not that way.
Is he
I
within
used to
reach?
think it was that way, but it's not.
Is he within reach of Davino?
Actually, no, he isn't. So he needs to make a move and attack to get there, in which case he did not do well enough. Never mind. Number 2 also has a weapon out.
Thanks for being on our side this week, Brian.
I'm on the side of the rules.
He's
Don't
gonna
make
have
it.
to do a.
Don't cheapen it.
Okay, he's gonna have to do a move and attack, but he's gonna have to go around the guy that's his legs. So I'm not targeting you in the side hex unreasonably. But that is a move and attack, so that's going to be a -4. What are the chances? Not good. He fails to capitalize on his tactical advantage. Number 3 is still stunned. And will come out of it. To whatever end. Number 4 is stabbed, and he's okay. And you're doing the stance on him. How do I respond to that?
Probably depends on what's happened to his buddies at this point, since he's just a flunky.
He's taking a defensive, so yeah. He's hesitating.
Okay.
5 has got one more chance. And he will not. That is sad for him. Alright.
Hey, look, new guy.
You swinging at
Aw,
the new
man.
guy? Which one are you swinging at? Not that it
It
matters.
was that bandit one.
Okay, so
All right.
Bandit 4 was the one I attempted to intimidate but failed.
How the hell did you
What
end
is
up getting double teamed?
What is Bandit 3's and Bandit 2's situation at this point?
3 is prone with the shot foot. 2 had charged over from. He had to do a move and attack. And 4 hesitated to press against you.
Okay. Then I'm going to take a step and attack on Bandit 2. Deceptive 1.
Gotcha.
And does he have any kind of chest armor? They're all just enclosed, right?
Yeah.
So, thrust again. Ah,
Wow.
terrible roll.
Gonna be like that today.
Yeah.
Well, at
it
least
happens.
you didn't do that when you were firing the guns.
And honestly, I've had weeks and weeks of good luck, so I'm not mad.
That's true. It's been a while.
Alright, Hayden will capitalise on the fact that this guy decided to attack Davino instead of him, so he's going to flank him.
You know, just you saying that, I realized that I totally missed you because of the goddamn smoke.
Well,
Nice.
Smoke did its job.
who's a good smoke? Yes, you are.
So Hayden will step to his side and
D-O
stab
double
him.
G.
-2 for side attack.
Alright. That doesn't sound good for me. Let's see. He could technically parry that, but I don't know. He's going to want to retreat. But it won't be good enough. Alright, you stuck me. A little. Again.
God, man, that figures.
That's chest hit location, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, as it happens, you did 2 points of damage impaling, and that put him to 0.
GURPS crit tables are a waste of paper.
Well, that wasn't
No,
a crit.
your rolls just suck.
No, it's always no extra damage. Every time.
It wasn't a crit table.
It's
though.
just weighted
That's just
toward
the
the
extra
middle.
damage.
There.
Ooh, 5s and 6s.
Unfortunately, it didn't mean anything.
Ah, yeah.
All right.
So-
So yeah, I came around there. I'm gonna say there's a shovel
Kindling.
there. I'm gonna grab a shovel.
Alright. Furlong. Let's see, he pulled a cutlass, so... yeah, you got 2 and potentially 4 on Rogers.
We should use Rollmaster crit
Yeah,
tables.
looks like that. We've done that before in like D&D.
We did
really
do that
should, though.
in D&D one back in 2nd edition. I did that, and it's like everybody said no after a
Man,
very short fight.
but these are dumb. No extra damage.
The fact that they can't bend against it is what's awesome.
Normal damage.
Alright, number 2 apparently got stabbed.
Critically mediocre. Triple extra medium.
Well, all the bandits have officially been damaged now.
Unanimous bandit damage.
And one of them's being sewing machined to death.
Yeah, he's gone.
Did he manage to stab dude in retaliation as well?
Not yet.
Because that would have been really funny if they all died here and we're like, well, crap.
Shifty, why are you
Okay.
still stabbing him? He's still moving. Dude, he's still
So-
moving because you're stabbing him.
Bandit 1 just got stabbed a little bit by Hayden. And, oh, right, he's at 0. So if he does anything, he has to roll. Well, he's going to take a step back because the monkey's throwing something at him.
It's a
Is it
knife.
poo?
No, it's a knife.
Is it a snake?
It's a snake knife. When he pulls it out,
And
it
he
turns
will
into
keep
the
his
snake.
footing. Let's see. 2 has just been stabbed, and Rogers looks kind of pointy as well. I'm not liking the look of all this. There's a lot of bloody bandits here. They also don't necessarily look like they're taking prisoners. No, Rogers did say throw down your weapon. Let's see. We're feeling aggressive. I'm going to stab somebody. Not probably going to succeed, though.
Oh, man.
The day's young.
Don't forget shock penalty if it's relevant.
Not today. You're not sure whether he was swinging at Furlong or Rogers.
Huh.
Let's see. I'm going to say Bandit 3 is probably done. That really hurts. Two. Well, there's got one guy charging in. That makes him feel a little better. This is probably his last chance.
To
Unfortunately,
escape.
he's got to clear
The guy
2
next
hexes
to him is
to do
crippled.
it. That's true. He is slower. Nope. I'm done.
Peace.
Screw that. I've been hurt. We don't have a doctor. All right.
I mean, we have a doctor.
I got one more chance. I come out of stun.
Just in time to get axed.
I feel better. Ow!
What are you axing him?
Oh, again with the 13.
Well, this is when you burn your one of the tactics points.
Or actually, isn't your luck back up now?
No, it's only been about half an hour.
It hadn't been that long.
Ah, okay.
Burn one of the tactics points. Or if
Yeah,
you got a bunch of bennies, you only
Hayden says
failed
do
by
it.
Pretty
one.
much over.
Alright.
That's true. You only failed by 1. You did have a Benny.
Yep, burned.
Burning tactics or Benny? Probably better to do tactics. Save your bennies.
Yeah, the tactics are only for this fight.
Yeah.
True. Reroll.
Don't roll like crap. That's rolling worse.
That's crap.
Yeah.
You had one job.
I know, right? Quick, get my gun, then I can actually kill him.
Captain Hayden, give him the other one.
Go for
Give
it.
him the other point.
Go. Use the other tactic point. Roll it.
That's
Hey.
There you go.
5th time's the charm.
better.
All right. I think you can roll the hit location with +2 if you're not going for torso.
Ow, this is gonna hurt.
ouch. Good shot.
That's rude.
Okay,
Come
maybe
on.
it isn't gonna hurt.
And with the minimum damage. What the hell, man?
Still, though.
I know, this just doesn't.
It is
doesn't
still
like
going to
me.
hurt, though.
It's
That's
6.
really bad. To the foot.
Chances are his legs crippled.
Well, he's already he was already at 0.
Look back over the last, I don't know, half dozen rolls and count how many are 1s and 6s.
So what happened was he tried to backpedal a little bit, get away from you, and you ended up hitting his leg instead of him. But now you got blood on your axe gun thing.
You have officially
Finally.
blooded your axe. Now it's thirsty.
That usually requires
Better
some
be.
kind of dressing change.
Next.
Payne isn't here. Why is he still in the tracker?
Because I'm too lazy to remove him.
All
It's like
right,
a right click.
I'm going to take a deceptive 1 against Bandit 2 again, since
Got
he
it.
seems to be still in the fight. Thrust, no particular target.
There you go. I'll see if I can parry that.
You might.
Feeling my oats.
And then I will take a step after it's done.
We'll step back. Wow. That is a massive not parry.
Ah, okay. So I'll do damage and then my
Why?
step.
What was it?
I failed by 7.
Hey, not bad.
Chest location.
Oh, do I have chest location?
Yeah, still can.
Oh,
No extra damage because we're using crap tables.
you're just reusing crap dice.
It's always no extra damage.
Zzz.
It's the average
Always.
roll.
It's always average.
Bandit 1. He's not in a good way, is he?
He's at 0. Yeah, he's got finish him written above his head.
Alright. Hayden's going to... this will play out as a weight maneuver. But he's going to take his pistol that he's already fired, because his pistol's in his left. So he's going to point it at the guy as if he's going to fire another shot. You know, the guy, it might not occur to him that this is an empty.
Right. Yeah, gotcha.
And Hayden's kind of hoping to trick him into stepping into maybe attack or something, or surrender.
Fast talk?
No. Either outcome is good. If he surrenders, then all good. If he steps into trying to attack Hayden thinking that the pistol's, or knowing that the pistol's unloaded, Hayden's taking weight.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hit somebody with a shovel.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. So Furlong is going to harass number 1 over here. And number 1 is seeing a gun pointed at it and being harassed on the right, and some monkey throwing shit at him from the left.
Mm-hmm.
Literally
try
shit?
to... Maybe. Don't know whose, though. He didn't shit. And
What's
he's
the
going
monkey
to try
throwing?
to backpedal out of this.
Knives. Ninja stars. Where did the ninja stars come from?
Who knows?
Japan. Duh.
It's a ninja monkey. Yeah.
Falls unconscious.
And then he will go over there and take a nap. And 2's basically the only one that isn't done.
Drop it.
Because he's hardcore.
And he's got 1 hit point left.
Okay, so he's slightly less hardcore than I thought he was.
So what would you say is the look on Roger's face? Is he like, I'm going to kill you? Or is he like, I don't care?
Neither. It's don't make me do this. Drop it.
That works.
Got the Buck Rogers smile. It's like, you know, if you make me do this, I'm
Buck
going to
is
keep
not a killer.
smiling.
I mean,
I'm going to
he'll kill
keep
people.
smiling.
but he's not a killer.
All right. He'll take that.
I'll reach out for the sword.
4 is running, and just cause.
No, I'm totally fine with him going in there. It's like if he went in there, I'd like trigger serendipity and have an animal eat him or something.
That would be hilarious.
Tiger?
And total abuse
In the
of
Caribbean?
your serenity or serendipity.
Hey, I'm not doing it. It's like, how the hell did that happen? And then the critter that would transform into that strange looking fellow I had tea with.
There are no
And he
tigers
says,
in
I
this
need my
hemisphere.
china back.
Number 5 has had enough.
How did he get eaten by a tiger?
No idea.
In Africa.
So unless you guys are gonna press, that's pretty much everybody, excepting the one that Artegal is potentially chasing with a shovel.
I'm gonna hit him with a shovel. I don't
Well,
know
he's
what
got his
that
back
skill's
to you.
gonna use.
I'm not stopping him. Somebody should probably go with him
do
in
you have
case the guy
short
turns
sword?
on him, though.
That wouldn't be short sword. I'd probably call that axe mace or something. It's not very.
Maybe serendipity. As he's running past, he trips and knocks himself out on the shovel that you're holding.
Bong.
But
I
you
got
can
one.
telegraph and all out and all that shit. So
I'm just trying to figure out what it's gonna be. Oh, really? That's not terrible. Okay, where's it at?
skulls -5 from. Holy
wow.
God.
Ones and sixes.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know how much damage a shovel would actually do.
Neither do
Call it
I.
a club. What does
It would do a
what
lot.
does the baton do? It's not that much because the blade is really light.
Is it, though?
Let's call it 1d +1. It's not going to be any worse than a baton.
Plus swing?
Oh, well, that's based on strength of 11.
Actually,
I
I
have a
think
strength of 10.
Shut
up.
Near
what's
enough.
its thing after the end probably has an improvised shovel.
Hey.
Oh, I know one
Not
of them
bad.
has it. I just don't know what. I don't know. I don't want to go digging for it right now. If it were going to be a thing later, I'd look it up. Yeah. So that's going to be to the skull. That's 3 points. Get through. Times
and
4
from
is 12.
behind. Ow.
And that is number 4, which is going to put him at
I would have had
-3.
that'd have been a success 3, not by 7, because of the reluctant killer thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
good
he
luck with
might
that, because
that might just be a -2 since you're just hitting him with the shovel.
to the
Yeah.
base of the skull, though, that's your hindbrain. Like, you stop
Eh.
breathing if you get hit there.
He's a doc. He might actually think of that.
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I think you hit him in
That's
the back of the head with a shovel.
That's a major wound to the brain, though.
Swing
so that's,
plus
health roll
3
at
is a
-10.
shovel.
Really?
Yep.
A bit more than I would expect.
Swing plus 3 cut if you're using the blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, really? That's gonna be plus. That's gonna be 2 points more then. I just expect him to
Okay.
be unconscious.
Well, unsurprisingly, you knock him right the fuck out.
And then I go, oh crap, what was I thinking? And try to make sure that he doesn't die.
The shovel does have a -2 SP, which is the skill point penalty for using a improvised weapon.
So that's going to be -4 by, yeah, still success by 1.
Wow.
I
All right,
tried
well,
to
that's all
fail.
of them. So, the remaining conscious ones are no longer putting up a fight. And you can do as you please with them. The guy that Shifty jumped on is very dead. And Furlong gets over to him and basically pulls him up to his feet. And you see the man's face. He's destroyed.
Who,
Shifty.
yeah, I was like, the word's right
Pincushion.
there.
Oh, I thought you meant the guy Shifty was attacking.
Oh, he's destroyed too, but in a different way. Not emotionally, just
okay.
I suggest that we be quick, because if Shifty was in fact sold and has escaped, the first place the authorities are going to come and look is here.
Well, you take these guys back and turn them over to the local magistrates.
Who would send the authorities is my question. Like, they have to be paid to go somewhere. It's not like public police.
Well,
there's 20 pesos per head, right?
As you're sort of thinking about what to do from there and discussing who to take where, Shifty turns to Furlong and says, "I want you to turn me in. I want you to claim the reward."
Huh.
And you look in the guy's eyes and you're like, he's already dead.
Wow.
So I've killed my family. They were all I had.
Gotta make sure I didn't accidentally kill this dude.
That dude has got brain damage.
Well, if they get hung, it's not gonna really matter. Hanged.
Yeah, so Shifty tells him, I owed you money. Now I can pay you back. Give the rest to my wife.
That seems a bit excessive.
Furlong's like, you sure about that? Like, yeah.
Seriously. You could, like, go into the church or something.
Or the sea.
No.
I mean, we do have a ship and stuff.
I'm no fit to live.
What of your wife? Do you have kids?
He's done talking at this point. Furlong will look at you and like shake his head no.
I was expecting Furlong to knock him out, and like the dude wakes up on the boat.
Yeah, he'll he's helping him up and help him along. He may have gotten a little beat up in the process of stabbing that guy to death. Not too bad though.
Well, I think, gentlemen, we should trust Mr. Furlong's judgment on this.
What about these fellows? Are we going to take them back and turn them over to the magistrates?
No, but we should definitely take their loot. They seem to have some stuff.
Why wouldn't we turn them over to the magistrates? Like 20 pesos per.
But, I mean, look around. They have stuff.
Are they?
Do you want to carry them back or just carry back their valuable stuff?
As you're discussing the potential value of their stuff, you hear in Spanish called out from a little further down. Everybody come out with your hands up.
I have to respond in Spanish.
Sounds authoritative.
The magistrates. Hey, we've apprehended these bandits here.
And yeah, as you probably expect at this point, there are a number of soldiers that have followed out here.
And so do Furlong and Shifty take off in the other direction and escape while we deal with the soldiers, or are they caught with us?
They do not. They are here. And Furlong will hand over Shifty. Says, looks like we caught him. Looks like all of them. The Sergeant at Arms will tell you to go see the captain about your reward. And they'll bring up a cart to take care of the rest of these guys.
So they're taking the loot, in other words.
Everything except
to be
what
fair,
the
that's
monkey
all
nicked.
stolen property.
That's
Man.
true. Dude, don't
If
worry
they
about
had
it.
just
The monkey has like a thing of doubloons he liberated. What do you
There's
think
no
he's
telling
throwing?
what the monkey has.
But still, if they
He
had
was-
been 5
he was
minutes later,
totally
we could
throwing
have looted
coins
the
at 'em.
scene.
You're a pirate at heart, aren't you?
No, I'm British. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
All right, well, so you guys head back to town, and it's
I'm
not
gonna
that
commiserate with Mr. Furlong. Sorry about your friend there, Thomas.
late. And you get to the captain, and he will reluctantly pay out for 6 captures, 6 heads, 20 pesos apiece.
I'll have to gratefully accept. Thank you there, Captain. Hope we've assisted in bringing these foul brigands to justice.
Says, gracias por tu servicio.
The character
nada.
speaks English, player doesn't.
You can take a couple of guesses what that means.
Gracias, fuck off.
Buen dia a todos. And that then sends you on your way.
I think in Scottish it's get to feck.
So that will be 30 pesos each if we divide it up. Actually, no, Furlong's there.
24 apiece.
Correction. Furlong should get the reward for his buddy. That was the request.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So Furlong should get a full share for one guy, and then we split the rest.
20 apiece. Looks like.
And when you say pesos,
Well, that worked
I
out.
have entries for pence, crowns, shillings, and guineas. So
Yeah, that's a new one. Said you're
So
probably
just
going to run
add
out of slots
pesos?
at some point. Yeah, just add a peso. Unless you end up going back to the bank and converting them later, in which case you can do whatever you want.
I'm going to end up in that.
Yeah,
I don't want to run out of slots.
Speaking of which,
On
is
the
a
other
real
hand, you
more
never
than
know
a
when you're going to
peso?
talk to Spanish. Reales are less than pesos.
Okay.
So let me. Yeah, it's
I have
8
20 pesos.
8 reales to the peso.
So the currency list needs to be expandable like the inventory list, where you can add items.
Where are you looking at, on the character sheet?
Yeah, on the inventory tab, you know, the actual inventory itself is a scalable list where you can add as many items
Oh.
as you need to. But the
Yeah,
currency
yeah,
list is, so maybe that should be expandable as well.
Well, I
Unfortunately,
guess
that's
they figure you
from
weren't going to
core.
have that many.
And there's
there's
a bunch of hard-coded stuff for that.
There is that box next to the currency where you can put something else in there.
Like what?
But like you could just write out 20 pesos and stick it
24
in that
pesos.
box.
I
Yeah.
thought it was 24.
Was it? Whatever it
Is
was.
it 20 or 24? I don't know.
20.
Ah, okay. My bad.
Because Furlong got a full reward, which meant there was 100 left to split between us, and there's 5
Roger.
of us.
Well, there's 6 heads and there's 4 PCs plus Furlong.
No, but we're only counting as 5 because he's getting the full for
Oh.
his...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. I got you. So he's
So-
got
And I
20
am
pesos.
gonna commiserate with him about his friend.
Well, and he'll say right after you guys get paid and walk out of the captain's office, he'll like, I need a drink.
Well said, sir.
And so he'll head right to the nearest ale house, whatever it is, and buy a round for everybody.
Unless we have somewhere else to be immediately, Rogers will join him.
Yeah, I see no reason not to go there as well.
All right, everybody goes along.
Yep.
Sure.
So you guys, he'll buy a round for everybody and raise a glass to Shifty and to our first profit.
The monkey should have a drink as well.
Crap.
He's gonna have a
where did-
drink whether you want him to or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fair enough.
I forgot about Dora. Where'd she go?
I
Oh,
thought she went to the house of not ill repute.
with Furlong, yeah. And now
She was
Furlong's here,
exploring.
she's not.
Well, she
No, but
did
I mean,
not
when she
go
snuck-
with you when you when you
Okay.
snuck out. So
So we'll probably have to seek
exploring.
out that place.
yeah, she's probably racked out over there. Yeah. So anyway, while you guys are drinking to Shifty's inevitable memory, Furlong kind of philosophizes a bit. Says, "We're all one cross word from mutiny, one quick sail from smuggling, one wrong boat from piracy. All one mistake away from the gallows." But that's the
Wise
life.
words.
In a joking tone, Hayden will reply, Mr. Furlong, what was that about mutiny?
And before anyone can answer, Rogers will buy a round.
So, long story short, you guys do whatever you're going to do for the evening, and in the morning, whether you are rowing back to the docks or peeking out of a hotel room, you will see that a small crowd is headed toward the back. I guess that would be the north wall, one of the gates. And indeed, they have... there's some projection on the wall that they've tied a noose to, and they've marched Shifty out there, and he's standing on the back of a cart.
What about the other guys?
They are not present because they
Lame.
probably have to be tried first.
No, they don't.
If you were to ask around, you might find out.
I heard
But,
some really awesome British guys captured these dudes.
So, who is it that speaks Spanish among the group?
Davino.
Davino and
Spencer and Davino, yeah.
Okay. Guys, do you think... I mean, this is not my culture. Do you think it would be would it be possible to bribe the executioner to, like, slice the rope through so that he might just fall all the way to the ground for, say, 20 pesos?
Well, now generally the way I think that works is if the rope breaks, they string him up again.
Oh.
And I think the deal is it has to break 3 times in a row before they let him go.
Well, poop.
But I don't know
Anyway.
if that's like an Old West thing or if that goes all the way back.
I don't either, but Rogers will ask.
Oh, I don't know about the culture. I just know the language.
Is there any way we
cultural
can
familiarity?
save this guy from hanging?
I do not have it. No.
I think what you would have to do is to bribe the governor and have him stay the sentence.
Ah, okay. So none of us are in the capacity to do that. So, sorry, Shifty. We thought about it. Peace.
And yeah, so there's a little bit of a crowd gathered. You guys are there.
Before they hang him, Hayden is going to look to Furlong and say, "Mr. Furlong, you should be front and center. A friend should, if he's going to die, I'm sure he'll appreciate a friendly face."
Well,
or to look upon a friendly face.
He was already making his way up when you guys started to arrive, so yeah, he's definitely going to be up front.
I suppose we should show our respects as well, Mr. Hayden.
Of course, Bill.
There is no way I am watching this.
Yeah, so while the
I'll
other
be
crowd
there, but I am not actually watching.
While the crowd is shouting and jeering and throwing stuff, there will be some officers in the front showing respect.
Hayden will remove his hat.
Likewise.
The monkey already did that.
The official, as they're standing Shifty up on the edge of the cart, will read off a list of crimes that he's committed, and judging from the stuff that's listed, it's probably a bit exaggerated. I mean, he's killed 20 men and robbed I don't know how many pesos, and
Yeah, he's not a PC. He hasn't hit our level of numbers yet.
raped nuns and whatever.
Not to mention
he's
all the
just a
times he
horrible
sold
person,
drugs
apparently.
in front of elementary schools disguised as a nun.
Exactly. And Shifty's got absolutely no reaction to any of that. And once the charges are read and everything, he turns over to Shifty and asks if he wants to make any last words. And Shifty doesn't say anything. He just turns around and puts his own head in the noose.
That's too bad. He didn't say, "Get on with it."
He's not. He's clearly
Not
too
vain.
depressed at this point to be pissy about it. And after that, they tighten the noose down, and the official waves his hand, and the cart is moved. And Shifty falls off the edge, and not far enough, apparently his neck didn't break, so he's all gagging and shit. And Furlong walks up to him, puts his hands around his waist, and pulls down.
Well, I guess that's one thing a friend can do.
And after a minute or so, he stops twitching. And with that, cut to black. Cue sad music. Roll credits.
What? It's not just black with the
He's not a
no
PC,
sound?
so he doesn't get a silent note.
Okay.
It's not that sad. He was
Well,
a
that's a
shitbag.
depressing ending.
It was
Where's
a little.
that ship? I want that ship.
You don't have that ship yet.
Ah,
Oh,
Yep.
yet.
we heard that.
You have to get it. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of scared you guys were going to hang around and take over that cutter.
Hopes and dreams, man. Hopes and dreams.
All right. Any last minute business?
1 point.
XP.
I do not have anything.
One
Nope.
character point. 1 character point for everybody. And
Gracias.
yeah, you guys got money now, so
Yay! I wonder if you can buy a cello with 20 pesos.
maybe.
I have no
But,
idea how
you
much
still
that
got to
actually
trade.
is.
So, just so you're aware, so when we start next time, I was originally planning on backing up and figuring out what
Forcing Mark.
Rogers and Payne were going to do while
So
you
now
guys
you
were
need to
off
begin
on
in
this.
media rest next week with Mark running or in the coach chase from the governor because of his daughter.
We'll have to come up with something.
He could also have spent like the last 20 hours at the brothel.
It's entirely possible. I have to get with Mark and see what he was planning on having Payne do while you guys were off.
Waste
But
of
at any
time.
rate-
Pick what's fun.
Running
It'll,
from the
hopefully
governor
be
because
amusing.
of the daughter.
Let's see. So, you guys did go into combat, so you are at least 1 stability point down. None of you were actually injured in the end, so it's no worse than that.
I don't know. I actually felt really good about how that fight went. I'm not sure that would unstabilize Rogers.
No, that's a minimum 1. If you are in combat, you get 1.
Ah, okay.
But no further than that. No fear checks, no drug use, no culture shock. Well, it's
Talking
only
about
24-hour period.
John's got a drug use all the time.
I think the culture shock has to be a longer period than that, and they may be near enough. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. Just the one from the battle, and if you don't have, hell, you could probably get rid of that just overnight.
Actually, could I make one minor tweak to your ending? Where it's like you
That
have
depends.
you have the hanging, and Artegal who's desperately trying to not look at the dude who's hung. You know, it's like glances through the crowd and sees your strange dude that he shared tea with, and then somebody steps in front of it. Who's watching the hanging? Somebody steps in front of him and he's gone.
Okay, I accept.
Frickin' fairies, man. Presuming he actually exists.
If that's even what he is.
I might be imagining
okay.
him.
So if nobody
if we're
has
minus
anything
1
else,
on the stability, what does that? Do we have to roll something?
No. So it's not going to affect you until it gets down to a third, below a third. And so really you're going to have to go through quite a bit of crap before it starts being a problem for you. Now there are a lot of things that could happen that would make you potentially gain more in one shot than just 1 or 2, so
Shipwreck.
but not right now.
Fighting zombies.
While I remember.
Should actually go ahead and give Phil 1 just for the disappearance. On
What
the other hand,
disappearance?
is that really the guy that disappeared that he was talking to? But on the other hand, is that really unusual for him?
I would like to
I'll
spend
apply
1
the
point
second
on
one just-
tactics.
Anyway.
Say what?
Ooh, more
Oh,
tactics, good.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn it, I forgot to apply the phantom voices in the combat.
Yeah, I should have thought of that.
That have worn anything? Nope, I'd have been fine.
All right, well, if you're watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Good night.
Ha! I finished it.
That's because Mark's not